perfect solution for your camping getaway. Reserve campsites or cabins today at Jones Lake, Goose Creek, and Cliffs of the Neuse. Whether you enjoy traditional camping or air-conditioned cabins that can be rented with Wi-Fi, your next adventure can include hiking, beautiful scenery, and sunsets by the campfire. For information on booking a cabin, visit ncparks.gov.
Before you hit the road this travel season, be sure to get your tires inspected by the tire guys at Greenville Auto World. The Greenville Auto World service team sells all the top brands and economy tires if you need a new set. Need an oil change, state inspection, or AC repair? Greenville Auto World can work on any type of vehicle, and the monthly oil change special is only $29.99. Make an appointment now by calling 364-8730. For award-winning service, trust Greenville Auto World.
This is Mark Washington with Max Sports Performance at Max Fitness. Our facility has reopened and is following all safety protocols. The best thing you can do to strengthen your immune system is, of course, to work out and exercise on a regular basis. I can assist you as your performance coach. You can also enjoy the benefits of a private facility. Avoid the crowds and work out at Max Fitness. Now is the time to get healthy. Max Fitness, just off Highway 43 in the old Ace Hardware building behind Speedway in Greenville. Call me, Mark Washington, 902-4877.
If you wake up in the morning with a backache, feeling more tired than you did when you went to bed, you probably need a new mattress. And the best place to get that mattress is Factory Mattress. Hi, I'm Kirk Smith, General Manager. For more than 40 years, Factory Mattress has been Greenville and Wilson's local mattress dealer. We guarantee the lowest price on the area's best selection with over 50 models to choose from. No seconds or overruns. Factory Mattress offers only first quality, direct from the manufacturer. Sealy Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. The most highly trained sales associates with over 60 years of combined experience. Same as cash financing with zero interest, up to 48 months, and free local delivery. Face it, to have a good day, you've got to have a good night. So sleep better knowing you saved money at Factory Mattress, locally owned on Greenville Boulevard in Greenville, on Forest Hills Road in Wilson, on the web at factorymattressusa.com, and a proud member of Pirates Supporting Pirates.
Tune in to Pirate Radio every Monday for the Delcor Players Lounge.
Josh Moylan, I guess there was some Pirate Idol going on. Who had the worst performance?
Last year it was terrible, and this year he had to go again because it was so bad. Danny Beal.
Every Monday on Pirate Radio Live, we'll recap the baseball weekend and preview the week ahead.
Jacob Jenkins Coward. Chicks do dig the longbow. All right. How about, do chicks dig the infield single?
Mine does.
The Delcor Players Lounge, every Monday at 3 p.m. on Pirate Radio Live. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Can you be quiet, please? Thank you.
Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
It's me, Nancy Garcia.
Clip. Hey, man, good to see you, brother.
Excitement time.
Clam down! Clam down! Clam down! Clam down!
Pirates are going dancing, baby!
They picked us last. They picked us last. And now we're going dancing. We're going dancing.
How about those friggin' Pirates?
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Welcome on in to a Wednesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios, coming to you today on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. You can find us on 1250, 930, online, pr927fm.com. And watch the show on Facebook Live and YouTube. Join us there with your questions, comments, concerns, otherwise on this Wednesday. And you can be a part of our program. Going to have fun on this Wednesday with a few guests and a lot of discussion. It is game day. East Carolina baseball back in action after a couple of days off, and a big midweek game. Pirates got a lot of big midweek games coming up the remainder of this season with ACC foes, in-state foes, ODU across the board. Today it's Revenge Day against the Campbell Fighting Camels. Campbell took care of ECU earlier this season, the fourth game of the season, and now the Pirates will try to get their revenge. This will be game 2 of 3 against the Campbell Fighting Camels in this 2023 season, and today they will be playing in Fayetteville, Segra Park Field Stadium. there in Fayetteville. The official title of that venue is Segra Stadium. Coming up at 6 o'clock, it'll be Campbell and ECU. We will get the Campbell scouting report with our old buddy Chris Heymeyer, formerly of WCTI 12, formerly the voice of the K-Tribe, formerly the host of the U.S. Sailor Fifth Quarter Call-In Show. He'll join us here as the voice of the Camels and tell us about this team, tell us about the Campbell basketball team that came 2 minutes short of the NCAA tournament. They led UNC Asheville pretty much the entire way in the Big South Championship, and then Asheville went on a run at the end, were able to beat them. Asheville got hammered by UCLA in the NCAA tournament, but a good end to the season for Campbell basketball. We'll talk a little Campbell football as well with Chris Heymeyer, who will join us coming up later on in hour number 1. Hour 2, Soup Boy Patrick Mason will join us on the show. We'll talk a little soup. I cooked a dish last night involving soup that I want to tell Patrick and everyone about. And we'll talk Pirate football, spring football, baseball, and hoops, and more with Patrick Mason, who saw his Iowa Hawkeyes bow out of the tournament without much of a fight as they lost to Auburn. And I have a bone to pick with Patrick about that coming up in hour number 2. And hour 3, Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors, joins us. Haven't said anything about this, and this is not a joke. It'll be Stephen Igoe's last appearance on Pirate Radio. I know in the past I've joked a lot and said things such as that. Unfortunately, this is not a joke. This is for real. Igoe's last appearance on Pirate Radio coming up in hour number 3. So there's a little bit of breaking news for you. We will talk to Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors, coming up later on in today's program. Shirley Rhodes is here. The big dog, Glenn Griffin, is here because we got Scrappy Doo, Chandler Honeycutt, down in Fayetteville for the baseball game. And Scrappy Doo is a great name for Chandler. He's kind of like a mini me, a mini Glenn, and even sometimes a mini Shirley. He's like our Scrappy Doo around here.
And also, at times, can tank a show quick.
Wow, okay.
Love you, Chan.
Ellerby said,
I kid because I love.
Chandler's available to talk to like in hour 3, do a live look in at the stadium. And I just know Chandler does not want to do that because Chandler is what is he? He's very true. He's very pure. He's not good at BSing. I'll put it that way.
Right, you get what you get.
He has an innocence about him.
He is, yes,
Shirley.
He has an innocence about him. And I could just see me going out there to him and Chandler, give us an update. And he's like, we're here at the stadium and I don't know what to say. I don't want to. He has to kind of know what he's talking about, be informed. He's not very good to BS about something because he is so pure and innocent. So having said all that, I do want to check in with him in hour 3 just to see what kind of report he'll give us, like what he'll say.
Solid.
I'm kind of fascinated by what could come out of his mouth coming up in hour number 3 of today's show. But we're glad he's there. He'll get some video and pictures and updates and more. By the way, is Tyler Macemore around? Tyler Macemore, I have to say thank you to you, but I want you to be here, and I want people to see why I'm thanking you. Also, Shirley Rhodes, very jealous, so somebody please send Shirley something. She is jealous that I received 2 New Era fitted hats today, courtesy of the mail and courtesy of Tyler Macemore.
And see, I think it would be much easier to send me something because I am a snapback kind of girl. I don't wear fitted hats because I think they make my head look weird.
Are you a hollaback girl? Or just a snapback girl?
No, I ain't no hollaback girl.
All right, Gwen. Wait, what's her name?
Yeah, Gwen.
Yeah.
But and if you follow my Twitter long enough, you know what I like.
All right.
It's not that hard.
Shirley's on the jelly bus. Somebody send Shirley
Whereas
something.
you, Mr., I'll take, whatever minor league hat that looks like fire, your way.
I have a box fire going on.
I would love something for the Savannah Bananas. I think that would be really cool.
Kaz said, "Woo, I get excited when hats come in." Let me just go. I wish Tyler Macemore was here. Tyler usually is here in our YouTube. I don't see him yet. Let me grab these lids real quick. Got these this afternoon.
Super jealous. He gets packages like this all the time in the studio.
All the time is really pushing it. This is the first one I've gotten this
let me rephrase that. You get more than once you have received packages in this building that contain hats.
From Tyler Macemore, loyal listener. Awesome stuff. The Winston-Salem Dash. And I love that it is purple, so I can wear it with a lot of my purple clothing.
Yes, because you do like to color coordinate your hats.
Black underbill, very nice, 7.5, perfect. And then I forgot what they call these, but I have one of the Wood Ducks. It's like the Latino heritage.
Yeah, the heritage hats.
Like heritage hats.
Copa de Baseball.
Copa de Baseball.
Something like that. Something like that.
Very cool. Very Miami. Very nice. So I cannot wait to wear these. Thank you so much, Tyler, for these. And if I got into this business not to make money or feed my family or support my family,
we
just
all know
hats.
this. Yeah,
so when the power cuts off because I can't afford the power bill, but I have all these awesome hats sitting around, I'm sure my wife will appreciate that. Oh, man. Thank you, Tyler. Awesome stuff, dude. We appreciate it.
I can't say much. I mean, I have received some things. You
wore a free hat yesterday. Well, you did work for that hat.
I did work for that hat. Thank you very much. I was very cold by the end of that day. No, and that was an exchange, and I knew that. So it wasn't like I told somebody, hey, send me a hat. I was told I would be given some swag in exchange for my services as a PA announcer, which I was going to do it for free anyway. So she didn't have to give me any swag. But the last time I got something was an Abby Wambach jersey. But it just so happened that the jersey was too small because soccer jerseys run smaller than normal. So what normal size I would wear is actually too small as far as a soccer jersey. But what I did is I framed it. So it's hanging up on my wall at home. So I couldn't wear it. But
TJ says we got to get Clip a Carolina Disco Turkeys hat. No, you don't, because Robert Matthews already did. I mean, I hate to say that.
That's my point.
I already have one, and it was sent by a listener. So, TJ, please don't send a Disco Turkeys hat. I already have one. Thank you, Robert.
That's what I'm saying.
That's embarrassing. I
am part of this show, too, listeners.
Shirley's major jealous right now.
I am.
All right, so let's see. Chandler Honeycutt in the Facebook chat says, tank a show. Damn, Shirley. So way to upset Chandler right out of the gate. Scrappy-Doo, getting scrappy.
Because, if you're going to call him Scrappy, then you got to carry that moniker, because I am a hardcore Scooby-Doo fan, and when Scrappy was brought on, I felt like it tanked the show. So if you're going to call Chandler Scrappy, then he's got to carry the Scrappy moniker as well. I love you, Chan. I kid because I love you.
Of all the awful shows that Lily watched growing up, I loved watching Scooby-Doo with her, because I love murder mysteries and crime mysteries, and
that's what I grew up on. I think
great stuff.
My love for ghost stories came from watching Scooby-Doo as a kid.
I think I'm in the same boat there. Joe says, I can watch and listen today, fellas. Looking forward to the show. And that's a boom for me. Can we get a boom, boom, boom for Joe?
Sure. Hold on
tuned
just
in?
1 second.
He wants a boom, boom, boom.
Give you that. Boom, boom, boom. Now let me say well.
Steve Hill says, Clippo.
Clipper.
Mike P said, sweet lid Clip. Is that from Laos? No. Mike, this amazing hat was made in Bangladesh.
Woo!
Shout out to my Bangladeshians out there for making this awesome Pirates hat. Steve says, tell everyone to come out to Sports Trivia. Hey, everyone, come out to Sports Trivia. Steve Hill will be guest hosting tonight. I will be participating, so come out and see if you can beat me or join my squad and win tonight at Sports Trivia. Lance says, can't wait to watch ECU beat the Camels tonight. We owe them one. Let's go out and get them one tonight. Now Chad, so Shirley is playing the sympathy card here. Chad says, hey Shirley, I have some Sports Illustrateds with Abby on. Chad, can you please write like a normal person? I'll just read it as it's written. Hey Shirley, I have some Sports Illustrated with Abby won the cover. Do you want them? Did not know if you collected stuff like that.
I actually do, because I have the Sports Illustrated one with Sue Bird that's actually autographed. So, yes, I would add that to my collection.
John Moody wants to double down on the boom, boom, boom. Can we get another one?
Sure.
All right. Let's get one for John.
Boom, boom, boom. Now let me say well.
I hope you're happy, John. Kristen said, Schwartz after Puff Johnson in the transfer portal? I don't know. There's 3.2 million people in the transfer portal, and I don't know who's after who. I tell you what, I reckon I could ask him, because Mike Schwartz will join us in studio next Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Kim McNeil will join us tomorrow, 5 o'clock in studio. So we'll talk to Coach Kim McNeil about her fantastic AAC tournament championship season and early exit in the NCAA tournament, but got to get your feet wet. Get there one year, get there next year and win a game. But we will talk to Kim McNeil coming up Thursday, coming up on Pirate Radio Live. Mike Schwartz next Tuesday, Kim McNeil tomorrow, Thursday show. John did say that soundbite put him in a good moody. Susan Dean.
Cool cat, man.
He's a cool cat, man. Susan Dean said, do you know what that is, Glenn? Were you here? Do you know what that clip's from?
No.
Play it again, Shirley. Do you have the whole
cool
clip?
Cat, man.
It should be right around. You still got it?
It's in the archives. I just got to remember what it was called.
So it was Theo Vaughn.
Oh, he was talking
to Dave Portnoy.
About Tony.
And they were talking about Tony Collins. Yeah. And Tony Collins is a cool cat, man. I love
He's a cool cat, man.
Susan Dean said, Shirley, I'm going to Mexico on Monday. I'll bring you a trinket back.
That would be nice.
All right. Little Mexican gift. That'd be cool. God bless. Now Steve says, I got you an Abby card, Shirley. How soon we forget. Say thank you to Steve so he can move on with his life.
Yes, he did. Thank you, Steve.
My God. Michael said, every time you play Boom Boom, John is like a kid in a candy store. Well, hit it again. William says he's glad to be with us this Wednesday. William, we are glad to have you. We're glad to be alive, and we're glad to be here on a Wednesday. Chris Heymeyer coming up in a few minutes. Patrick Mason will join us, and Stephen Igoe's final appearance. Yes, you heard me right. Final appearance on Pirate Radio Live. Before we take our first break, let's hear some Mike Houston on our Flight by Yingling ECU practice report. Flight by Yingling, don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. The next generation of light beer, wherever beer is sold, you can find Flight by Yingling, and they provide our practice report. And Mike Houston spoke with the media following Tuesday's practice.
Finally got some spring weather this afternoon. Woke up this morning, it was 26, so I was wondering what it was going to be like today, but it was a nice day out there. I thought Saturday was really, really good after looking at the film. And I tell you, when we put them in situations where where it's live and there's something on it and, they're competing, we're finding out so much about each other because you can't simulate that. And I think that's a big thing for us right now is getting as many reps as possible, with both sides of the ball so we can, get everybody playing more comfortable together, figure out what pieces go where. But so many positives, obviously tons of stuff to improve on. And the big thing we talked about this week is just being consistent, being consistent with our performance, having a great day, not just a great play. And so I thought that we went out there and we did some good stuff. We finished the day with a live first and goal from the 7 drill for all 3 units. And so you put it down that close to the goal line, the temperature gets pretty hot. And so it was highly competitive out there. So really good. Look forward to being back out on the grass later on this week, and then really looking forward to Saturday with our first live scrimmage.
Coach, when you talk about that consistency consistency as you move into week 2, week 3. Is that kind of what separates maybe the first, second, third stringers and just try and make up a depth chart? Like, who's the most consistent thing?
Right. I mean, I think the most consistent guys, obviously, are the ones that have played. I mean, we talked about it on Saturday. Those defensive linemen have played a lot of snaps here. And so, they're not making mental errors. They're executing very well. They're fundamentally sound. They play with a tremendous amount of intensity and edge. So you look at a group like that, they're being very, very consistent. I think Marlon Gunn has had a good start to the spring. Really, really pleased with him. Kerry King, I thought, had a really good first week. I challenged him today, and I don't go out there and crap the bed, because you had a good first week. Defensively, I think Devin King had a really good first week. Siobhan had a really good first week. Guys like Tegan and Julius, I mean, you expect them to go out there and look like starters because they've started so many games for us. But, really excited to see some of those younger guys, looking more and more like guys that are ready to play.
So many of the transfers you all brought in, especially defensively, probably still trying to find their way a little bit. But have any of those guys, kept you or caught your attention?
Yeah. I mean, Dean Ash, my question on him was, would he hit you? He showed us Saturday he'll hit you. And so, because he's a long, rangy, athletic guy, certainly he can cover a lot of ground back there. So it was good to see. Now, the challenge for him is just, stacking days together, really, getting really sound with the scheme and assignment sound. I thought Ra really came on late in the week last week. So he and Kingston are battling it out there at the Sam position. I think you'll see a couple of those linebackers continue to improve as they get a better feel for the scheme. And it's because you get a new scheme and it's fast in there in the box. I think those guys. I thought Gerald was very solid Saturday, transfer running back, and I think he's going to be a guy that's going to be able to help us. So I think we got several of the new guys that are contributing already.
Do they seem to be handling install pretty well? I mean, only a few days into practice, but with the new scheme, is it?
Well, I mean, I think the guys that have played a lot, I mean, they're handling it better than the ones that's new to them. So some of the guys that just got here, or some of the freshmen, they're struggling because you put in a lot so fast in the spring. So by the end of the week we'll have most of our complete package on both sides of the ball in. So I think it's just like what we talked about with consistency. The guys that have played are handling it better than the young ones.
All right, there's part of Mike Houston. We'll hear more coming up later on today's edition of Pirate Radio Live. Josh Thomas says, Clip Rock, don't crap the bed today. That's what I try to do going into every show. Just make sure I do not crap the bed or crap this chair. So that's my promise to you. No crapping in this chair today. Man, we've received a lot of love here early and a lot of folks in a good mood on this Wednesday. And we're not asking for much, just 7.5 size fitted hats. And Shirley wants stuff from Mexico and the U.S. women's national team. And Glenn wants Star Wars and wrestling figures.
Hold on. I said if you follow my Twitter, you know what I like. I'm leaving it open for people to decide what it is that they would like to gift me.
Be that as it may, I'll only ask for one other thing. Give us some likes on YouTube.
Some subs, will ya?
Subs, likes. Why do we have all these people watching and saying all these great things and not hitting the like button? Let's go. Let's get on that. All right, let's take a break. When we return, Chris Heymeyer, voice of the Campbell Fighting Camels, will join us on the program. Get you ready for tonight's baseball game, talk Campbell athletics and more when we return on Pirate Radio Live on a Wednesday, a feel-good Wednesday edition of PRL. We're back with you after this.
We filled the trucks so you'll save big bucks during the Lazy Boy truckload sale at Bostic Sugg Furniture. Look for the Lazy Boy truck in our parking lot. It's filled with Lazy Boy furniture at huge savings. Take advantage of big rig discounts of up to 50% off Lazy Boy recliners and motion sofas, Lazy Boy stationary furniture, leather, sectionals, and chairs. But quantities are limited. There's no reorders, no rain checks. So roll in before these savings roll out during the Lazy Boy truckload sale at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with Copy Pro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. Copy Pro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at Copy Pro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
Copy Pro, we are the professional office systems people.
Get lucky this month at your CBD store. Make them your go-to shop for all natural sleep, calm, recovery, and wellness products. Our trusted products are award-winning, third-party tested, and only available at your CBD store. New gifts and accessories are also in stock. Stop by and take a look. Get $10 off any purchase over $65. Just mention the code GETLUCKY10. So get lucky this month at your CBD store. Open 7 days a week. Call ahead for pickup at 999-5127. Your CBD store, 420 East Arlington Boulevard, beside Duck Donuts.
Winslow's is now Fifth Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room. With a brand new look, Fifth Street Hardware also has a new menu and serving lunch and dinner every Tuesday through Sunday and brunch starting at 10:30 on Sundays. What else is new? Well, they have poker every Tuesday night, Trivia Wednesday with DJ Captain Morgan, and on Friday and Saturday nights, they have live music open till 2 a.m. serving light appetizers all night long. New look, new name, same location on Fifth Street. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram for more specials. Fifth Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room.
Are you one of the estimated 17 million people in the U.S. suffering from dry eye disorders that are not resolved using over-the-counter or prescription eye drops? Ask ArcPoint Labs about Serum Tears, a natural dry eye solution. At ArcPoint Labs, Serum Tears are tailor-made for you from a quick blood draw, providing a sterile and natural option to help those with dry eye conditions. Contact your ophthalmologist or optometrist for a prescription or contact ArcPoint Labs to help you find one. Visit ArcPoint Labs' new location on Dickinson Avenue near the intersection of Arlington Boulevard or schedule online at arcpointlabs.com.
Did you know that it's illegal to dig without first calling 811? 811 is a free program that locates underground utilities, marking them with flags and paint lines so you know where not to dig. Accidentally digging into utility lines interrupts service and could seriously hurt you or someone else. If you know someone who's planning to dig, encourage them to call 811 at least 3 full working days before they dig. 811 is free, it's safe, and it's the law. This message is brought to you by Greenville Utilities and this station.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier restaurant and bourbon authority. Jefferson's, Basil Hayden, Woodford Reserve, and a Midwinter Night's Dram are just a few of the incredible bourbon options. The Rick House features the very best steaks and fresh, made-from-scratch pastas. The Rick House can host your corporate event or special parties in the 3,000-square-foot banquet hall. Join the Rick House for Sunday brunch from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and for the wine tastings on the last Friday of every month. The Rick House.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
This is Brian Bailey, host of The Brian Bailey Show, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Country Mart. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations, in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. The best place in Greenville to unwind after work and have fun is AJ McMurphy's. AJ's has daily food and drink specials and an awesome patio, perfect for some outdoor dining. And there's something for everyone every weeknight, including sports trivia with our very own Clip Rock on Wednesday nights. AJ's has live music every Friday and Saturday with no cover and brunch every Sunday. Make today an AJ's Day. Now let's head back into PRL. Here is Clip.
All right. Are you missing the madness? I needed a night or two off, and now I'm about ready for more basketball, but we have to wait one more night. So how do you make a sports night out of this Wednesday? Well, come on out to AJ McMurphy's, play some sports trivia. I will be participating tonight because one of our regulars, Steve Hill, will be coming up with the questions and guest hosting. So that'll be fun coming up tonight at 8 o'clock. All right, let's head out to the Pirate Radio Live line and get you ready for ECU Campbell coming up at 6 o'clock. Chris Heymeyer is the voice of the Campbell Fighting Camels, and he joins us today on the program. Chris, welcome back to Pirate Radio. How you doing, man?
I'm great, Cliff. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I always enjoy the chats when East Carolina and Campbell get together on the gridiron, the diamond, the hardwood, whatever the case may be. And Chris, boy, I hate to start with the negative, but you can look at it as a positive as well. Almost reached out to you a couple weeks ago when Campbell had UNC Asheville on the ropes in the Big South Championship and had a lead for a lot of that game, and Asheville kind of flexed their muscle at the end. They had the most wins of any school in D1 basketball in North Carolina this season, and Asheville was too tough at the end. But, man, Campbell put up a heck of a fight after a fantastic run in the Big South basketball tournament.
You said just that, Cliff. It was a great run. Campbell, because of multiple injuries over the year, including their starter and the cog to their offense at Jesus Carvalero, they ended up finishing 7th. They did not have a bye in the first round. So that championship game was their 4th game in 5 days. They were able to gut through it. They were a pretty deep team this year until the last 8 minutes. Lost the lead. Asheville, who had the best player in the Big South, he was Drew Pember, a 6'2" guy that started his collegiate career at Tennessee, and they were literally just a couple minutes short from being the Cinderella of Cinderellas. Everybody's been talking about FDU. They would have talked about Campbell getting into the tournament the way that they did. But good for Campbell to have some momentum. That was their last game in the Big South, and it's good to have some momentum after an up-and-down season, because next year it gets a whole lot tougher, Campbell, in basketball and everything here in Campbell Athletics going into the CAA. So they'll have to match with UNCW and College of Charleston, and it's a different ball game there, but some momentum going into the off season.
Yeah, a really good league there. Enjoyed watching that tournament with Hofstra and those other teams you mentioned. Very, very good basketball league. Talking to Chris Heymeyer joining us today, and we're going to talk Campbell baseball because they are off to a great start this season. They are ranked, and Pirate fans know how just good this Campbell team is, losing to Campbell earlier this season back on February 21st, 6-5 in extra innings. And Chris, this time it'll be in Fayetteville, and I know folks are excited about this. East Carolina kind of making a minor league ballpark tour this year. They've already had a couple. They've got a few more on the schedule, so kind of a traveling road show here for ECU. They'll face Campbell coming up tonight, and looking forward to this one from the game perspective, but also I've heard a lot of good things about the stadium as well, Chris.
The stadium's fantastic. Campbell won a Big South Conference tournament down there. If you haven't been there and you're anywhere close, or heck, make the trip down to Greenville, it's great. It's basically a AAA stadium without all the seating. They built the stadium, I think it's about half a decade ago now, and so they took all the good things that you have seen from new stadiums from the major leagues all the way down to the minors. It's a great place to watch a game. You can walk all the way around. It's right there in downtown Fayetteville, an area that they're revitalizing. So any seat you have in there is a good one. Great food, great drinks, and it's going to be a fun place to watch a game. And not only a game, as you mentioned, ECU and Campbell, every time they get together, it's fun. The past 10 years, they've both been pretty good teams. The past 5 years, they've both been really good teams, and this is a top 20 matchup, Clip. ECU and Campbell coming in as 18th in the entire country in the latest D1Baseball.com poll.
Chris Haymeyer joining us. Chris, you look at the numbers for Campbell, just astronomical on the offensive side, and something's got to give here. East Carolina's pitching has been dominant, especially on the weekend, but Garrett Saylor, who has thrown a lot of pitches for ECU in his career, has had back-to-back good midweek starts for the Pirates. So I say something's got to give. Campbell just put up a ton of runs against Winthrop. I saw those scores from Tulane and App State, 16-15 and 13-11, 17-7. So Campbell got some great pitching this weekend, but if they have to play a high-scoring game, they can win those too. It looks like you guys are just hitting the ball all over the place right now.
No doubt. It's been a great start to the season for the Campbell Bats. Campbell is first in the nation in on-base percentage, 15th in average. They also hit a lot of home runs. They're 12th in the country in home runs, and then 8 in walks. So they're doing a lot of things very well. They came into last weekend averaging nearly 11 runs per game. And this isn't your usual playing cream puffs over the first month of the season. The reason why Campbell is ranked, not only that they're 15-3, but they played some good teams and scored a lot of runs against some good teams. They've taken a series from Rutgers, who many think will win the Big Ten this year. They went on the road for a spring break, 10-day road trip, and took a series from Louisiana. I know Tulane this year is not the Tulane that ECU Pirate fans know in the past, but they swept a 2-game series with them, did the same with App. So they have been putting up these runs against really, really good teams. And against a team that they were supposed to beat soundly in Winthrop, they ended up putting up 33 runs in that game. They just seem to have everything going for them. They have guys that have been through it. This is a team full of guys that have been to NCAA tournaments. Campbell coming off their 4th straight trip to the NCAA tournament. Last year they took on the number 1 seed in Tennessee. The year before that they made it to the regional final against Mississippi State, who won the whole thing. So these are veteran guys, along with some transfers that have come in and really, really hit the ground running. They have 11 guys that hit home runs and 11 guys that have stolen at least 1 base this year. So things are rolling as of now. But again, that's why you love to see these two teams play each other, and why both coaches love to play each other every year, because this is a test. ECU is going to see a team like Campbell, if not Campbell, in a regional coming up this year, and the same goes for Campbell.
Yeah, that's a great point, Chris. And looking at the schedule, that 4-1 New Orleans trip, very impressive. You mentioned Rutgers, 3 games against East Carolina this year, and then you throw in a few with Coastal Carolina. UNCW is on the schedule. You got Duke. You've got Duke a couple of times at North Carolina. And I mentioned UNCW. So this schedule, even outside of what you're going to play in conference play, that RPI, whatever you want to call it, is so important, looking at strength of schedule, who you beat, who you lost to. Looks like Campbell has set themselves up for success and for a pretty good number beside their name once they get to regional play.
No doubt. And Clip, Campbell has had to do that with Liberty and Coastal going out of the Big South Conference. The RPI and the strength of schedule inside the Big South Conference isn't a lot. So Campbell has had to stack these games to have teams like ECU and ACC teams and SEC teams on the midweek, and it has paid off. People forget in this run where Campbell has won 4 straight regular season Big South titles and been to the NCAA tournament 4 straight times. Campbell tripped up and lost 2 years ago in the Big South Conference tournament final, but still got an at-large bid that got them a 3 seed in the NCAA tournament. The reason that happened was because they had such a strong non-conference schedule. So it's something that Coach Hare and his staff intentionally do, and it's nuts. The other day, of course, it's way too early to mean anything, and Campbell fans know that, but the other day someone came out with their projected regionals. Of course, ECU was in a regional that they were hosting in Greenville, but there was a Bowie's Creek regional on the board, Clip. A Bowie's Creek regional, and you know what? You can kind of look at this schedule and look at the competition in the Big South, and a lot of things have to go right, and Campbell maybe could lose 3 or 4 games on their way to it if they are going to get a regional. But that wasn't a pipe dream. That was a real website that put out a real projection that had a Bowie's Creek regional. A lot has to happen for it to happen, but that's the kind of season that Campbell has had so far. And again, as you know, being a baseball brand and a baseball name like ECU, they've been doing it for 20 years, of course, but Campbell is now known not only regionally, but nationally has a pretty darn good team that gets into the NCAA tournament and wins games.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was going to bring that up, Chris, because, I mean, you've certainly got the ballpark for it and would be a phenomenal venue to host a regional. And that's one thing I think people really enjoy about baseball. It kind of strips it back to maybe how it should be, where everybody's got a chance and there's no, power and the levels that we see in football and basketball. And Campbell, East Carolina, has certainly taken advantage of that. As hard as it is to stay with the big boys in football and basketball, you can do it in baseball, and then you do it with a guy like Cliff Godwin. You do it with a good infrastructure and the culture he's built. But it's a realistic thing, and it's out there right now. Now Campbell just needs to continue to win and play good against these good opponents, and that could become a reality. That'd be awesome, because Chris, it's amazing that part of the reason we play these tough schedules at ECU and Campbell is just proximity, where we are with all these great schools around us.
Right. I mean, no doubt. And you know, Clip, as well as I did, ECU never going to the College World Series. Maybe you're cursed. Maybe there's a lot of reasons for that. You and I both know, all that aside, is the fact that ECU has been in such tough regions and such super regionals. I mean, you have teams like UNC, like an NC State, like a Coastal Carolina, that not only are the teams standing in your way, but they are the teams that have gotten to the College World Series and won the College World Series. And that's where it's been so fun, because Campbell and ECU, they really take advantage to the fact that they can just go, as you said, 60 miles down the road and take on a team from a Power 5 conference or not, that has not only been in the College World Series, but has won national championships. I still believe, much like what's going on at ECU, it's even more of a story of what has happened in Campbell. 12 years ago, Campbell had a facility that was their coaching staff and Coach Justin Hare, who has been here through the whole building process as an assistant coach and now a head coach. It was a glorified high school field. It had metal bleachers and just a couple of them. It had the press box on top of the concession stand. They came in there and were very intentional in a plan to build this program up to not only have them win the conference, but then to go to the NCAA tournament. Mission accomplished. They have done that with 4 straight NCAA tournament appearances, and they've done it by not promising guys something that this place isn't, but saying, hey, if you come here, this is a unique place, which is all about baseball. You can come here, get a degree, work on baseball, and look, now we can offer you this. You can go to the NCAA tournament. They now have set their goals for not only getting into the NCAA tournament, but getting to a super regional and then getting one step further. 10 years ago, that would be a pipe dream. A Campbell baseball team ranked in the top 20, a Campbell baseball team that was seriously talking about Omaha and not being laughed at. I don't have to tell you and the other Pirate fans how tough that is, no matter what the resources are, no matter what the coaching staff you have, no matter what the players that you have. A lot of things have to fall right to get that far. But Campbell is on the path, and this is the best team of 10 years of very good teams, and so it'll be interesting to see where they go. ECU and the regional that Campbell and ECU were in back in 2019 is the catalyst for what you're seeing now with a Campbell team that has really, really improved their pitching. If you remember, ECU upset in the first day of that tournament. It was Campbell that was 2-0 going into the regional final on the final day, and East Carolina ended up scoring 22 runs in 2 games and beating and coming out of that regional because Campbell simply didn't have the arms. Right there, they said, you know what, we've got the speed, we've got the hitters, we've got the small ball, the power bats that can make it to an NCAA regional and win some games, but we don't have the pitching. This year is the deepest their pitching staff has ever been. Not only do they have a couple of top-line starters, including one in Cade Keeler, that will probably be picked in the first 2 rounds of the draft coming up this summer, but they also have deep bullpens. And Cliff, you know, if you're going to win a regional, no matter where you go, 2-0 those first days or not, you're going to need some big-time bullpen in arms, and that's what Campbell has this year. That's the big difference, their depth all around, but especially in the pitching staff.
Yeah, a big reason East Carolina's been able to win those regionals, and also they have such a good record on Sundays. Everybody's just out of arms, and East Carolina still has plenty to go. Talking to Chris Heymeyer. Chris, you talk about the changes within the Campbell program and improvements. Just how about the overall changes? You mentioned the move to the CAA. I mean, we saw East Carolina and Campbell play football, which I didn't know if we'd ever see that 10 years ago. So just change after change. It's a microcosm of all college athletics, with coaches moving, schools moving, players moving. The only constant is change. So how are you handling all that there at Campbell? Just as soon as you get comfortable, another change happens, right?
No doubt. This is a very positive change for Campbell. I know for ECU and the different realignments that they've gone through, it's not always a positive thing. Campbell is reaping the benefits of what has been 12 seasons back in the Big South. Campbell was a founding member of the Big South, went to the Atlantic Sun for 15 years, came back to the Big South, which was a good decision. And that's when this building boom and this putting money and donors and funding into coaching staffs and infrastructures and facilities has really paid off. Campbell won 13 conference championships in the Big South last year. And because of that, when the CAA was going around looking for schools, it doesn't hurt to have a football team, which Campbell just got 15 years ago as well. They saw that Campbell was positioned right in the middle of what they're trying to make a Southern Division in the CAA, and were winning, and Campbell got the call and decided to go to the CAA. I think it's a really good decision for Campbell. It's a lot of teams that you know their name across the nation, the UNCWs, the College of Charleston, the Elons, teams that have brands, and then some teams up north that they'll now play. They're going to be playing the Stony Brooks and Hofstras from up in Long Island. They're going to be playing Northeastern in Boston. They're going to be playing teams in Virginia and Delaware and around the D.C. metro area. And these days, when you're not only trying to do a lot for your athletic department and recruiting, you're trying to get a bunch of people from out north to come down here and become students here at Campbell. So they think for the academic side and the tradition side and the university side, this is going to be a good move as well. The invitation was given to athletics, but the university side here at Campbell really grabbed on and said, you know what, we have a pretty good niche being a regional private university here in North Carolina. We want to try to expand our reach, and Campbell is going to try to help them do that on the athletic side. Now, look, in a bunch of sports, Campbell is going to have to get a little bit better in. It's not going to be the competition that it was in the Big South, but in places like baseball and some more Olympic sports and even football to a degree, they're gonna come right in and not miss a beat. So for us here, it's a really exciting time. And yes, you're gonna have to get some soccer teams and some volleyball teams on flights to go up to play conference games in Boston. But also too, if you look at the regional opponents, your Elons and UNCWs, William and Mary, Hampton, and College of Charleston, the 5 closest opponents for Campbell in the CAA are actually closer than those in the Big South. So it's a very good thing altogether for the athletic department. We're excited.
Good things happening at Campbell right now. They'll take on the Pirates coming up tonight, 6 o'clock in Fayetteville. Chris Heymeyer joining us. Chris, before we wrap it up, good news, your Missouri Tigers won a tournament game. Bad news, they ran into Big Bad Princeton in round 2.
Come on, Ray. So happy Coach Gates revitalizing of the Mizzou basketball program, which I've told you, that's what I grew up in Columbia in the 80s when Missouri was a great basketball team, and that's what made me a college fan. We have talked on and off the air about it.
Yeah.
This year, the excitement's back. They had 8 of their last 9 games were sellouts. They beat Kentucky. They were 4th seed in the SEC tournament, and then they win a game in the NCAA tournament for the first time in 5 tries, and then they lose to an Ivy League team, which we've talked about this again, Clip, and this will be for another radio show on another day. But Missouri now tied with BYU at 30 for the most NCAA tournament appearances without a Final Four berth. And the disasters that have happened in the NCAA tournaments, they lost to a 15th seed back 10 years ago as well. It kind of makes that magnified. So,
boy, hey, Dan, on a downer.
No, that is a down note. Like you were going to say, hey, Missouri won. Then I'm like, wait a second, you're going to follow that up.
Princeton looked awesome the other day, I got to say. Interested to see what they do in the Sweet 16. Chris Heymeyer joining us. Chris, we will end on a positive note. You and the family doing well?
Yes, we are. The Twins love sports probably too much. When they're watching sporting events and it goes to commercial, they start pointing to the screen and crying, looking at me, why are there commercials? But, we're in the same business, Clip. If it wasn't for commercials, we wouldn't get paid.
We need those lovely commercials and those great sponsors.
Commercials, each and every time. So thank you for asking. They're doing well.
Chris, great to catch up with you, man. We like to do it. East Carolina and Campbell will play tonight. And, heck, let's do it one more time later on this season, as these two teams will meet in May as well. So maybe we'll catch up with you again in a couple of months, Chris.
Yep, it'll be a lot of fun. And if you need a place to stay for the Buies Creek Regional, Clip, 5 minutes away. There are going to be two 19-month-old twins making a lot of noise, but other than that, it'll be good.
There you go. Chris Heymeyer joining us. Chris, we'll catch up again soon. Thanks, man.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Chris Heymeyer joining us, voice of the Campbell Fighting Camels. Chris used to answer your calls on the U.S. Sailor fifth quarter call-in show back in the day. Also voice of the K-Tribe, WCTI 12. He's been around the East a lot and is now the voice of the Campbell Fighting Camels. Brennan says, why is this game being played in Fayetteville where there's no video when the game could just as easily be played at Clark LeClaire? I don't know, Brennan. They will be playing at Clark LeClaire Stadium later on this year. That'll be May 16th on a Tuesday. So one in Buies Creek, one in Greenville, and one at this minor league park. I know everybody's bummed out that there is no ESPN Plus for this game, but, just some questions. I mean, Ghostface Killer once asked, why is the sky blue? Why is water wet? Why did Judas rat the Romans while Jesus slept? And we just don't have the answers to some questions in life, including that one, Brendan. Pirates, by the way, will be at other minor league stadiums this year. They already have, and they'll be playing, I believe we had a player on Monday say the ODU game. Yeah, Harbor Park in Norfolk. That'll be at a minor league park. And then they've got one in Charlotte as well coming up where they will play the 49ers at Truist Field. So they're like the Savannah Bananas at this point, the ECU baseball team, traveling all these minor league parks. Let's, and we were supposed to play one. Weren't we supposed to play one in Kinston, Glen, like a couple years ago? Was it the COVID year?
I think COVID got that.
Or was it just talked about? I think
either
it was the
COVID or weather got that one. I don't remember exactly, but I think COVID got it.
Yeah, I feel like, of course, Granger Stadium hosts the, and now I'm forgetting the name of it, but the military classic every year. What's it called?
Army and Navy play or whatever.
And they come down here and play. So starting to see more of that in college baseball. Let's take a break. We'll come back. When we return, we'll wrap up hour number 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Superboy Patrick Mason joins us hour 2. And Stephen Igoe, hour 3 of today's show. A lot more to go. Pirate Radio Live. We are back with you after this.
Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, get rid of unwanted hair and under-eye fat pads? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar Medi-Spa for a free consultation and ask about our newest technologies and treatments. Learn more at beautybarmedispa.com. Red Banks Road, Greenville. Enjoy your visit, love your transformation, and go Pirates!
Spring merchandise is arriving daily and we need to make room. Hey Pirate fans, it's Russell with Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington. Rhonda is taking markdowns of 75% on all remaining winter merchandise for men and women. This is our biggest sale of the year, so don't miss out. Outerwear, sportswear, dresses, and tops, all at 75% off. This is your opportunity to view all the new spring goodies and save a bunch on sale merchandise. Shop the biggest sale of the year now going on at Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington.
Go Pirates!
Here with Jeff Stein at Brown & Wood. Jeff, how can you help people with service in 2023?
We continue to offer free pickup and drop-off for the customers, and our customers' time is valuable. So we've added 3 additional Express Lube technicians to reduce wait time. That's our #1 goal for 2023. And please don't forget, we service all makes and models. We're voted #1 in Greenville by the customer. Come see us at 329 Southwest Greenville Boulevard. Brown & Wood, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
Bud Light was brewed to be delicious and easy to drink beer, even when little things in life are hard, like when you're working late and happy hour has already started, but you're about to clock out and head over. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local retailer today. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an Auto Owners independent agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with Auto Owners Insurance.
This is Norm Bryant with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates.
This is Talbot Green, and I'm excited to announce our new partnership with Integrity Home Mortgage. Integrity Home Mortgage offers a wide variety of programs ranging from conventional, government, and portfolio loans, plus construction and lot loans. Our Integrity Home Mortgage team of Talbot Green, Braxton Green, and Joanne Weir offer over 50 years of experience and is committed to providing you with superior customer service. To get started, call me, Talbot Green, 714-2076.
Talbot Green, NMLS 120331. For informational purposes only. Integrity Home Mortgage Corporation is an equal housing lender. NMLS 208516.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American Airline flights perfect for your next trip. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly.
North Carolina State Parks invites you to enjoy camping your way. With the weather changing, booking your own cabin is the perfect solution for your camping getaway. Reserve campsites or cabins today at Jones Lake, Goose Creek, and Cliffs of the Neuse. Whether you enjoy traditional camping or air-conditioned cabins that can be rented with Wi-Fi, your next adventure can include hiking, beautiful scenery, and sunsets by the campfire. For information on booking a cabin, visit ncparks.gov.
Pirate Radio.
I listen to you guys all the time, especially when it's coming up to game week with the Pirates, and I assure you I'll be listening to Pirate Radio at some point during the fall this year.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Country Mart. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations, in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Hey, watch all of Pirate Radio's local programming on YouTube Live. You can watch Pirate Radio Live Monday through Friday from 3 until 6. And, of course, during football season, you can watch the Bud Light pregame tailgate in the U.S. Cellular fifth quarter on game days. All you got to do is go to YouTube, search Pirate Radio TV, and click on that subscribe button. And while you're at it, click the like button, too. Now let's head back in to a Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
ECU baseball in action tonight against Campbell, and a Fayetteville Pirates softball team in action at 5 o'clock on the road at UNCW. We'll have updates for you throughout the show in hour number 3 right here on Pirate Radio on our Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by Dub Buck. NCAA tournament action resumes on Thursday. Cannot wait for the doubleheader in Las Vegas in the West. Arkansas, UConn's going to be an absolute war. And then after that, Gonzaga, UCLA. First game to tip off will be Michigan State, K-State. Already drove up to Virginia, put a little bit on K-State as they take on Izzo and Sparty. After that, it'll be Florida Atlantic and Tennessee. Friday, your doubleheader. Coming out of the Yum Center in Louisville, San Diego State, Alabama at 6:30. After that, It's Princeton, upset-minded Princeton against Creighton at 7:15. The U and Houston go at it in Kansas City, and late night Xavier and Texas. That should be a really good one coming up late night from Kansas City. So that is the Sweet 16 lineup. Again, resuming on Thursday. Tonight you've got your NBA, your NHL. Beginning next Thursday, we'll be sprinkling some Major League Baseball schedules and scores onto the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard. So excited about that. I told you yesterday that I was going to watch the World Baseball Classic for the first time, and I lied. I did not watch it.
I actually watched it.
Yeah.
I watched the showdown between Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout. Top of the ninth inning, 2 outs. United States was down by 1, and Ohtani had some filthy stuff, an 87 mile per hour slider and 101 mile per hour fastball, and Trout couldn't hit anything. He was swatting at it and ended up striking him out, and Japan won 3-2. It was a good game. It was a pitcher's duel. It was a lot of defensive plays. I mean, Ohtani walked the first batter in the top of the ninth, so place was going crazy because you had the winning run at the plate, and then second batter grounded into a double play, and that left Mike Trout as the only, the last hope for the United States, and he couldn't get the job done.
Thanks, Obama. USA loses. The Buck scoreboard brought to you by the Buccaneer Music Hall, your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates and ENC, with live music 7 days a week, no cover during the week. Ladies, get in free every Friday and Saturday before 10 p.m. Come watch your favorite sports at the Buck, largest 4K TV in Eastern North Carolina. Visit thebuccaneermusichall.com for a complete schedule of live events this week. See and be seen at the Buck.
By the way, the NCAA tournament coverage for us here on Pirate Radio begins tomorrow night immediately after the show at 6 o'clock.
Cannot wait for Thursday night. Arkansas UConn is going to be awesome. Tristan Newton has had a couple of pretty good games for UConn. They were number 1 in the nation earlier this season, starting to play like that again. Arkansas never found their footing this year, but now they're healthy, and they're playing like a team that has a legit championship shot. So that's going to be awesome. Gonzaga, UCLA. Thursday night is going to be a lot of fun. We will talk hoops, baseball, football, soup, and more with the soup boy himself, Patrick Mason. He will join us when we return on Pirate Radio Live to kick off hour number 2 of today's show. A lot more to go. Back with you after this.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates. They're open every day and have live music every night, along with 18 big screen TVs to watch all your favorite sporting events. Tuesday, it's karaoke with DJ Captain Morgan. Wednesdays, it's line dancing. Thursday night is the dance party with DJ Kid Scene. And live music every Friday and Saturday night with the best bands on the East Coast. Follow the Buck on Instagram for more information on scheduled events, and we'll see you at the Buck.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates!
Greenville's first ever Texas Fusion restaurant is now open for lunch. That's right, the Sidebar, located right beside the Dickinson Avenue Public House, now offers lunch Tuesday through Friday from 11:30 to 2:30. Come take a break from work and enjoy the tastiest food items around. Whether it's the honey chipotle chicken sandwich, smoked brisket tacos, chicken tortilla soup, chicken tinga nachos, or keep it simple with chips and salsa. To keep up with our ever-changing menu, food and drink specials, and more, follow the Sidebar on Facebook or on Instagram at sidebar.greenville.
Hey O's fans, don't miss out on any of this year's Orioles action by locking in a 2023 Birdland membership. Buy now and receive an exclusive members-only Adley Rutschman Celebration bobblehead with the purchase of any membership plan. Choose from a variety of membership options, including the all-new Flex membership, giving you the ultimate flexibility to pick the games and seats you want when you want. Catch all of the fun at Oriole Park, Buy your membership today at Orioles.com/membership.
Your vehicle is a big part of your life. That's why you should trust the team at Greenville Auto World for all your vehicle needs. Greenville Auto World believes in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right. Visit greenvilleautoworld.net to see their fully stocked inventory of SUVs, trucks, and cars. Need a lift kit, custom rims, or wheels? Greenville Auto World can upgrade your vehicle today. For sales or service, visit Greenville Auto World on Highway 43 in Greenville.
Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. University Sportswear ENC.com is your one-stop shop for all promotional products for your business. With over 1 million items to shop from, University Sportswear ENC.com offers high-quality products at prices to fit any budget. Visit University Sportswear ENC.com for contact information and to get shopping. University Sportswear ENC.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio.
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Vaughn. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
You've worked hard to make your business successful, and that's why it's really important to always have a bank that's in your corner when you need them. This is Chris Richards from First Bank, and our experienced team of local bankers includes Lee Watson, Ashley Capps, Bonner Latham, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nisbet. To get the business services that are right for your business, come and see one of our experienced team members at First Bank on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. First Bank, together with our customers, we're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive. Member FDIC.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Thinking about takeout tonight? Familia can make everything real easy for you with a great selection of Italian food and more. Visit familianc.com to see the full menu featuring pizzas, pastas, salads, and homemade desserts. Place your order online or call 689-6330, and Familia will have your order ready in their convenient drive-thru window for pickup. Finish up a busy day with a great dinner for yourself or your family from Familia. Familia on Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
By the way, Shirley, for those asking, Familia does have Italian chicken soup as well as soup of tomorrow. It says soup so fresh, we have not even made it yet. Ask your server about the selection. So for soup heads out there, there is soup available at Familia.
Future soup.
And yeah, that's right. It's like astronaut soup. It's great. Patrick Mason is a bit of a soup head. He joins us here on the show. Hello, Patrick.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm always interested in my next soup adventure.
Yeah, I love that we have made you into like a soup connoisseur, and Mike P has a soup question we'll get to in a moment. But first, last night, I wanted something hearty, somewhat healthy, but just a good man meal on a Tuesday night. And I went to the stove and I got several ingredients, including cream of celery soup.
Okay.
So I took cream of celery soup. I took chicken tenderloins. I took 85-cent stuffing, Food Line brand. Ooh. I mean, if I see anything for 85 cents, I'm buying.
Oh, yeah.
I got frozen, one of those bags of frozen peas, carrots, and green beans.
Okay.
And am I missing anything?
Sounds pretty healthy, but also hearty so far.
Hearty, healthy. I got all my spices. I think that's it. And I put it all together because I love a chicken casserole. I kind of made my own chicken casserole with the stuffing and the cream of celery with a lot of pepper. Big pepper guy.
Like a chicken pot pie kind of thing?
Sorta, yeah. It had that consistency to it. And I got to tell you, it was dynamite. I had the leftovers for lunch. It was fantastic. And I got to shout out the soup.
Yeah, man, that sounds like you're a little chef over here. I like it.
They call me Little Chef. little Chef.
Little Chef.
So there you go. That's my soup story for the week. Mike P. We'll go ahead and get the soup stuff out of the way. Question for Patrick. When does a soup become a chili?
Ooh. That's a good question. I think maybe if it's just, I think chili, at least for me, it's like more meat than anything else.
Yeah.
Soup is more like kind of brothy or has some sort of, I don't want to say sauce, but you know what I mean, like a broth.
There's a thickness factor to chili that you don't have with soup.
Yeah. Chili's very, very hearty. I mean, soup can be hearty as well, but...
Big dog like it thick?
Big dog like them thick.
All right. There you go. Chili man.
Because you can't put, soup on a hot dog, but you can put chili on a hot dog.
If you put soup on a hot dog...
Then you're you might need to get locked up.
Gross. That soggy bun.
Even I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, not a fan of the soggy buns. All right, P. Mace. Let's do it quick because you asked, you said your bracket's probably ruined and everything. Let's do a quick update on the brackets. Can I get some music just in case things have changed since Monday in our bracket standings? Jenny Shelton in 10th place with 25 solid points. Brian Bailey in 9th with 28. Big Dog and intern Carson have 32. Mully with 33. Chandler tied with Bryce Williams in 6th with 34 points. Wes Hines with a solid 35. Hunter Ellerby, former champion. Stephen Igoe and Patrick Mason all sitting at 37. Morgan Ayler's Jonathan Ellerby at 38. Shirley at 39. And then we have to go 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Clip Brock in first with 46 points. So, Patrick, your thoughts?
I thought I'm doing a little bit better than I thought I would be.
Everybody is pretty trashed.
It was just a bloodbath when a lot of those, top teams went down. Not like I had Purdue going that far, I don't think, but Arizona getting wiped out.
Arizona killed me. Had them in the championship.
That hurt. There was a few like that where you're like, oh my goodness. Providence doing their thing for 2 games in a row.
I think even I got to see who anybody has left in, is it the East? Because I had Duke coming out. I know some people probably had Kentucky. I don't know how many Purdue believers there were.
Kansas is gone.
But that bracket, is anybody going to have a Final Four team out of the East? And looking at it right now, you've got Kansas State and Michigan State, as well as Tennessee and FAU.
I doubt it. Maybe someone had Tennessee doing something.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine picking anyone else.
Bryce randomly had Kansas State in his championship, so he needs to get some more good play from that little guard, Noel, who was just phenomenal against Kentucky on a Sunday. Looking forward to Thursday night. You can hear the action right here. Our coverage time begins right when we wrap up Thursday at 6 o'clock. You can check out Michigan State, K-State, Arkansas, UConn, FAU, Tennessee, and Gonzaga, UCLA. That is an awesome night of basketball. Patrick, we'll be talking basketball Thursday, 5 o'clock, with the head coach of the ECU women's team, Kim McNeil, talking about her stellar season, the amazing run in the AAC tournament, and then the game against Texas, which did not go the Pirates' way. Texas was not only too big inside, but also great from 3.
Yeah,
it was a great mix.
Yeah.
They had.
I saw a quote from their coach, and he said, East Carolina ran into a team that I was proud of. And that's, right? Did he kind of nail that on the head right there? They played phenomenal. And East Carolina, let's be real, the first quarter, they really stuck with them. I thought they played well. But they just, Texas had, like you said, everything. Inside scoring, hitting from 3, running the floor. There was nothing much you could do.
They did everything great. 2 nights later, that same coach had to apologize to Texas fans. He, at the podium, he apologized to the University of Texas and all Longhorn supporters because they got ripped apart by Louisville.
Yeah, and it was hard to imagine that coming, just the way they looked. It was pretty great. And they had everyone, or most guys, girls back healthy, and they just looked really good.
Yeah. So we'll we'll do a season wrap-up and look to the offseason with Kim McNeil coming up Thursday. next Tuesday, 3 o'clock, Mike Schwartz will join us here at the table and talk ECU men's hoops. And I saw where we had another departure from the roster today. I believe it was Jackson Ellingsworth entering the portal. I saw Patrick.
Yeah, I saw that as well. And like we said, right? I mean, more of these are just going to start trickling out as the tournament goes on and as more teams. And I don't know. I just figure that a lot of these boosters and people with deep pockets are going to watch the tournament and say, man, I want that, or I want this to continue. And they're going to keep donating, and they're going to just have more money to throw around. And it's just kind of the nature of what's happening right now.
Mass exodus is everywhere, including North Carolina. Puff Johnson decides to pass, to use the joke that everybody's used today. Armando Bacot is staying for his 8th year at North Carolina.
Man just loves college.
I mean, he's getting NIL money. He's the big man on campus. He may not have a bright NBA future ahead of him, so he's enjoying it while he can.
Why not?
Don't blame him at all for that.
Me neither.
But for this ECU team, they lose Javon Small, Saxby Sunderland, Ellingsworth today. I know Stephen Igoe doesn't want us to talk about this, but the reality is that, players are susceptible now to just easily jump in that portal and try to find a new opportunity and hope that the grass is greener on the other side. But for Mike Schwartz, and we'll talk to him next Tuesday, a very important offseason, obviously. Year one in the books. It was for me, a little better than predicted. I think I had the Pirates winning like 12 games this year. They ended up one game under 500. So nothing to write home about, but in your first year here in this league, and the league is losing some teams, getting some really good teams in here with FAU, obviously. But I think that if you polled the Pirate fan base, they'd be very pleased about Mike Schwartz year one.
I think you should be. I mean, it was a really exciting year, and you could tell that he had a direction and a goal and sort of he wanted to build something. I think especially by the end of the year, you could see that this team was really buying in, playing hard, playing good defensively. They were in, a ton of games at the end. They won a tournament game. So yeah, I mean, I would absolutely be thrilled with this. I mean, the first year, a lot of times you don't know where it's going to go. You got a whole new bunch of kids a lot of them are young, haven't done this before, and I mean, he got them ready to play, and he got them, believing in themselves. I think even at the end.
Year one, year zero to year one, his philosophy was, let's get some high school guys in here, and we'll bring in a few transfers. It didn't go too heavy on the transfer market. We'll see, and he's already got some studs coming from high school next year, but how do they attack this portal here in the next few weeks, few months? We shall see.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see, and I'm sure he's got his eyes on some guys, and he's just looking at how do I continue to allow this roster to build, and especially he's got guys like Ezra and Brandon Johnson and RJ Felton. If you could just find some nice complementary pieces to play with these guys and allow them to rely on their own strengths, that's how a lot of these kids get better as well. So yeah, I think you find the right pieces in the transfer portal, and you build through high school again, because it's still a young team, and you just keep moving.
Again, apologies to Stephen Igoe, but FAU has the youngest team left in the tournament, and if they bring everybody back, should be preseason top 25 next year, right? I mean, they're like 33-3 now or whatever, trying to pull another upset against, which have they really pulled an upset yet? The line against Memphis was like 1.5. They were double-digit favorites over Fairleigh Dickinson.
Yeah, that was a nice draw.
Now they have Tennessee, but you got to think that this team, if they can keep everybody, including their coach, May, then they should be, one of the teams that is going to be a front runner to win the league next year, along with Memphis. But, somebody's going to come after their coach. I said it yesterday.
Because coaches are moving all over the place now.
I looked at it yesterday, the NCAA men's basketball front page on ESPN.com, and read the headlines. And let's see. So Patino welcomed at St. John's. Arizona's Krisa, however you say his name, he is entering the portal. Wow, UCF freshman Hendricks declaring for the draft. There you go. Tobin Anderson is now moving to Iona. We just learned who he was last week.
Right.
Head coach at Fairleigh Dickinson. He's gone. Of course, Cooley goes from Providence to Georgetown. Wichita State has hired a coach as they bring in the Oral Roberts coach. As they had a fantastic year, their coach gets poached. So this is the life we live in.
Yep. Yeah. Even for coaches. I mean, Wichita State, well, they were fine, but they're getting antsy, right? They pulled the plug and going somewhere else. So it happens. Players, coaches. I mean, like you said, no one's safe at this point.
Not at all. Patrick Mason joining us inside the Pirate Radio studios. Patrick, you've got some lacrosse to cover later today?
Lacrosse, yes. It'll be my first time covering some college lacrosse.
And the Pirates are 9-1. They only have one loss on the year. Let me look up their official record. 8-1. Hopefully I am reading into the future and they pull an upset today over the Duke Blue Devils, but that is at 5 o'clock at Johnson Stadium. So we'll let Patrick out of here in about 30 minutes so you can head over there. So this will be your first time out there?
Yeah, first time. I figured I'd, come check them out. I mean, they're playing well, and I think there's got to be a cool story there. I mean, like I said, they're playing really well, and I think there's just not, like when you think of lacrosse in the area, I mean, I can't imagine too many high schools have lacrosse teams. And
I think it's growing, but it's certainly not. When I was a kid, it was not a thing.
Right, me neither. So, yeah, I just figured it's kind of fun, and they're playing really well, so, why not?
It's a Northeast sport, so they didn't play it around your parts where you're from?
I think they had a club team at my high school maybe when I was a senior.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it wasn't a thing.
My favorite part is when they score and they all have to, freeze and drop the stick.
That's what I mean. I'm kind of curious to go out there because I really don't know what I'm watching. So I'm going to both learn about the sport itself and also kind of learn about this team and the rules and all the rest. But I'm excited.
Pirates 8-1, taking on the ranked Duke Blue Devils coming up today at 5 o'clock.
And just so you know, Patrick, the reason why they drop the stick is so that they can check. The referee will come over and check and make sure that the stick is legal.
It's like the depth of the net.
It's the depth of the net and the way the ball rolls off the stick.
So he goes through and checks every single stick.
Yep, every time they score, they have
just the goal scorer stick, or
yes,
yeah.
I mean, they do a stick check before the game, but they also do it so whoever scores a goal, they drop their stick and the referee will come over. They'll pick it up, they'll inspect it, and they'll put the ball on the back side of the net and do this weird test, and then if it passes the test, they hand the stick back and the goal stands.
That seems excessive.
It does seem a little weird.
Just because it's not like the person, say if you score 3 goals, does your stick get checked 3 times and are you switching
it's every
but I mean it's
score.
not like you're switching out your stick, so if it's
but it has Mike P, you're a lacrosse guy,
yeah,
right?
Like I said, I'm out of my depth here. I'm sure I don't know what I'm doing, but
Mike, I'll try to look it up exactly. I
mean, I fully intend to ask someone when I'm out there and to help explain to me this, but yeah, I mean that's something that I would like to learn, and I don't know. I guess you'd figure, hey, if it's checked once, it should be good to go, but maybe not.
All right, why do female lacrosse players drop their stick after a goal? This is done after collegiate lacrosse games. The legality of the stick: pocket too deep, too many strings. They can request a stick check. They need to drop it immediately to avoid tampering. If they happen to check it, it's illegal. The player will have to switch stick. Goal will not count.
It's like a test. Pencils down.
So, we went through the steroid era, the too much pine tar, too much, Sammy Sosa.
Yeah, sticky stuff on a baseball.
Cork bat.
Yeah.
Mike P says calling for stick checks is done by the coaches in the men's game, and it's considered a jerk move. Maybe it's like an unwritten rule in men's lacrosse. Interesting. Okay.
I feel like you only see that in baseball, too, where you get the coach saying, hey, go check that guy's belt or go check that guy's hat,
Yeah.
And everyone gets all up in arms like, oh, you're slowing down the game. What are you doing? Interesting. Okay.
All right. So be aware of the stick check coming up later on.
I'll be watching.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk some baseball as East Carolina taking on Campbell. How about the pitching of the Pirates lately? It has been fantastic. We'll discuss that and more with P-Mace, Patrick Mason. He joins us on the other side. Back with you after this.
Jeff Stein, our special guest from Brown & Wood. Hey, Jeff, electric cars are coming. What's that mean for Brown & Wood customers?
For the customers, like it or not, EV is coming. We've installed 5 electric vehicle chargers here at the dealership. We have the all-new Cadillac Lyriq coming at 1st of 2024, and we've just seen the first reservation for the new Sierra EV.
People are interested in electric vehicles. How can they get up with you?
They can visit us at brownandwood.net or 329 Southwest Greenville Boulevard. Brown & Wood, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal: to make sure you leave a happy customer.
Every March, Jersey Mike's turns money from subs into charitable donations.
And March 29th is Jersey Mike's annual Day of Giving, where 100% of sales are donated to local charities.
And to kick off all that giving, Peter gave me an apron. I'm honored.
Looking good, Danny. We've got subs to make, though.
Oh, now I know why you gave me the apron. Join us Wednesday, March 29th for Jersey Mike's Day of Giving. Be a sub above.
With over 30 locations across North Carolina and southeastern Virginia, Quality Equipment is your local John Deere dealer, where you'll find everything you need for your next project. Our complete lineup of John Deere lawn and garden, agricultural, and commercial worksite equipment comes with years of experience, expertise, and dedication. We know what it takes to get it done right. Stop by today or visit us online at qualityequip.com.
Papa John's just flipped pizza night on its head. This is the new crispy Parm pizza, and it puts toasted Parmesan where it's never been before, on the bottom. Introducing the crispy Parm pizza, only from Papa John's.
Hey, Pirate fans, Papa John's is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirates.
I'm Donald Stocks, owner of Pip Marketing Signs Print. We are your one-stop shop for just about anything printed. If we're not your go-to printer, please give us a call at 355-1636. We have over 80 5-star Google reviews and want you to be our next more than satisfied and well-pleased customer. Check us out at growatpip.com or stop in to see us at 3185 Mosley Drive in Greenville. Pip, where business goes to grow.
We all have seniors in our life who may need a little extra help with technology. University PC Care's Quick Helps are affordable, in-store, short appointments designed for seniors who may need a little TLC to help with setting up a new computer, help with email or passwords, or help with the latest online scam. They don't need to fear technology anymore. Call 252-558-1280 to schedule an in-store Quick Helps appointment for Greenville or New Bern. Learn more at universitypccare.com.
Saturday, April 8th, the NC Strutmasters Championship is back. Presented by Leopold and coming back to Farmville. Turkey hunters from all over the country are headed east to put their skills to the test, and the top scoring birds will win big cash prizes up to $30,000. Plus live performances by Nate Hosey and the Carolina Treat Band. A weigh-in will be held at R.A. Wood Farms, 39 Vanderford Thomas Road in Farmville, North Carolina. Registration is now open for two-man teams at ncstrutmasters.com. Brought to you by Sam Jones Barbecue, Big Rock Power Sports and Marine, Mossy Oak, Spring Hill Outfitters, Carolina Caliber, Mossberg, Doug Henry of Farmville, and Hayden Outdoors Real Estate. Deadline to register is April 3rd, or the first 165 teams. And we'll see you there for the NC Strutmasters Championship.
Hi, this is Morgan Ehlers, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Town Insurance is your premier independent insurance agency. From maximizing opportunities to minimizing risk, Town's insurance advisors offer expert professional advice to clients of all sizes. For personal or business insurance questions, call 756-8300 today. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, a lot going on. You got EC Lacrosse at home. Patrick Mason will be covering that for the Daily Reflector. Coming up in just a little bit, 5 o'clock. What do we call it, Shirley? Do they have a face-off?
Yeah.
All right, 5 o'clock face-off at Johnson Stadium. ECU softball in action at 5 o'clock as well. They will be on the road at UNCW, but for all you rich folks out there that pay for Flow Sports, you can watch it because it will be on Flow Sports. ECU baseball will not be on anything, I believe, as they play down in Fayetteville against Campbell at 6 o'clock. So a ton going on. I really enjoyed our Delcor Players Lounge discussion on Monday with Garrett Saylor, Josh Groves, Carter Spivey. Those conversations are fun regardless of what's happening, but Patrick, they're even more fun when Pirate pitching has been dominant and there's not a lot of negatives, right? I mean, those guys are doing phenomenal, and we've seen Garrett Saylor have back-to-back pretty good starts in the midweek. Cliff Godwin has so many options. Looks like he's going with Zach Root today, who we've seen be very dynamic. So Pirates and Camels going at it for the second time this season, coming up later today.
Yeah, very good Camels team. But yes, the pitching has been outstanding. I think, what was it, 4 runs over the weekend they gave up to Missouri State, which is a very good offensive team. This pitching staff, I mean, there's no breaks. Friday through Sunday, even in the midweek, like you mentioned with Garrett Saylor. It'd be great to see Zach Root have a good outing today, kind of bounce back and get back at it. But yeah, the weekend rotation is just incredible. 2 guys pitching into the 8th over the weekend. I mean, Trey Savage, overpowering stuff. And you got to think, you get if you're an opponent, you get into Sunday, right? And then you got Josh Gross on the mound throwing, mid-90s with just a nasty back foot slider. I mean, it's just, like you said, no breaks. They're really good right now.
It is really since that Duke game, and it sounds like they had some pretty serious meetings after that Duke game, and where, gave up walks, hit batters, a granny didn't help. But just keeping those walks down, that's been the key. It's something Josh Gross talks about every Monday, and that's been a bugaboo for him in his career at ECU. He had 5 on Sunday, but he had 2 through 7 innings, and really just could not get that final out of the 8th. And he said if he did, he probably would have been able to go the distance if he didn't have those 2 walks in the 8th inning. So to see him with 3 walks through 7 is a positive sign. Spivey and Yasavage, came into the year, does he have command? Is he going to have control issues? He has just been amazing. And all those guys throw over 100 pitches this weekend. They all work into at least the 5th, some a lot longer than that. But it's just been it's been great. The bullpen to this point just has not been taxed that much.
And that's huge. If you can get the starters to eat the bulk of those innings, you can really pick and choose who you want to use out of that bullpen. You can even be more careful with matchups. You can, turn to your horses at the end. So it just really makes everything a lot easier, for Cliff really to say, all right, hey, we need 2 innings or maybe 1 inning or even, sometimes 3 or 4. But it just really keeps those guys fresh out of the bullpen, which is huge for a bullpen, And, like you mentioned with the starters, to keep the walks down, it not only just keeps guys off the bases, but it allows them to go deeper into games, keeps the pitch count down, you're more efficient. I think Trey Savage didn't even issue a walk, which is, it's just incredible. If you're pounding the zone with that kind of stuff, hitters have to be in swing mode. They got to be ready for stuff. And if it's, if the type of stuff he has, good luck hitting it. And if you always have to be ready to swing, you're in some serious trouble.
How about as we sit here, Patrick, just one more non-conference series, weekend series, George Mason coming up this weekend, and then it's off to Houston to begin AAC play. What about the offense, the lineup right now, and where this team is as we start to, late March, get into April?
Yeah, I think we're even seeing a lot of guys off the bench who are capable of hitting, capable of, providing some awesome, power, some good timely hits. But even we've seen a little lineup shakeup, the past couple games, just different guys here. But I think
Starr moving up, Whelan moving up.
Yep. Yeah, and Jenkins Cowart kind of fitting there in the middle, top third of the lineup. Because, he's probably not, JJC is probably not a leadoff hitter, but I think that's just kind of stuff you figure out as the season goes on, right? Where do these guys fit? How do we get the best bang for the buck here in the lineup? And, yeah, Josh Moylan turning it on when he goes 4 for 4. If he's hitting like that, you got guys hitting all over the lineup. And it allows Cliff to go defensive replacements if he wants to. He can feel comfortable saying, hey, I can throw this guy out in the outfield, or I can change a dude at shortstop because I'm comfortable with his bat. I'm comfortable with how he can handle himself in 1 or 2 plate appearances. And if these guys aren't hitting or if these guys aren't performing, that just gives you less of an option to do things. So everyone's clicking right now. I mean, that's why they're 16-4. I mean, everything's just playing really well.
Yeah, and East Carolina has the ability to make good teams look bad, and I thought about it the Liberty weekend, and I know they're not as good as they've been in the past, but they look really poor. And then Missouri State, all we heard about was their offense, and they're hitting all these home runs and watch out, and they can't do anything against this Pirate pitching. So just goes to show you how well ECU's playing right now, that they make these pretty good to good teams look as poor as they do, especially offensively.
And then you saw Missouri State team, especially in the later innings, all those hitters were just taking these massive cuts, because I feel like they were just like, you know what, I'm not even going to try to put this a bat together. I'm just going to hope I run into something, because I'm sure they were getting frustrated. I mean, even Missouri State's pitching was probably the best I've seen over a weekend against ECU, just with the way everything was bendy, and a lot of the pitchers kind of knew what they were doing. But still, I mean, ECU just kind of found a way to grind them down and string some hits together. And so, yeah, I mean, nothing was working for Missouri State.
Everything working good right now for the Pirates, as they are top 10 in both the D1 poll and now even the Baseball America poll, which a lot of Pirate fans say Baseball America has something against ECU, but now they got them in the top 10. Campbell, top 20 right now, so a top 20 showdown going on tonight in Fayetteville. And these midweek games, traditionally you want to just take care of the weekend and all that, but when you're talking RPI, you want to put yourself in the best possible spot. Really, East Carolina's midweek the rest of the way, you could argue, is more important than the weekend games.
Yes,
almost.
You absolutely can, because like the midweek games, a lot of very tough teams, and these weekend games, now that it's like you said, you start shifting into, hey, we just have to win these things, because the RPI it almost doesn't benefit you, right? Like, you have to just win. I mean, a loss hurts you more than anything else, but if you start winning these midweek games against ranked teams like Campbell, tough teams like UNCW, you got another one against UNC coming up in May. And those are the ones you really want to win, and that's what kind of makes your RPI boost. That kind of just makes you look good and feel good. And these weekend games against maybe some, I don't know to say weaker competition, but maybe that's what it is. It's just it is what it is. It kind of flips it on its head.
Patrick Mason joining us. Got a question or comment? You can get it in on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, and all the questions have to do with soup when it comes to Patrick Mason. Eric asking, does P-Mace take a break from soup during the summer months, or is he a true soup head for all 365? We've talked about this. You like your soup on the beach on a hot day? I think we made that up, but we made that a thing. But Patrick, you'll go soup in the summer, right?
I do.
Summer soup?
Weather does not affect my eating habits. So if it looks tasty and it's 100 degrees out, I'm going for it.
And I love a nice pasta salad in the summer. Maybe we could incorporate some cold broth under that and make a cold pasta soup, summer soup.
Interesting.
Oh, I saw your face there. My God, the disgust on your face when I suggested that. Cold soup's just not a thing.
It doesn't. I don't know. I don't know if I can get behind cold soup.
Somebody commented last week. We played Kim McNeil. Kim McNeil, did she meet with the media before heading off last week?
She did.
And we played that, and somebody said you could hear the voice of Kim McNeil quiver when Patrick Mason asked a question, because you're so, I guess that you and Cliff getting into it earlier, now you've been painted as this guy that just is intimidating to all the coaches.
That's hilarious. Man, me and Kim McNeil have a good relationship.
I know, it was a joke.
Right, but I like, that's actually really funny.
100% a joke. Like tonight, if you asked, I guess, Coach Barnes a question after the lacrosse game, please don't intimidate her.
Yeah, I'll try.
Yeah.
She might come after me for having a lack of lacrosse knowledge too, though. So you never know.
I think she is trying to grow the sport and grow interest and knowledge. So she'll be very happy to see you out there covering her. We've had her covering it. We've had her on this show, the Brian Bailey Show, as it's trying to make it a thing. And it's when we had Zach Maskovich, old buddy at Channel 9, before heading off to Orlando. He's from Maryland. And that's like the lacrosse capital of the world or whatever.
Oh, sure.
When you get up there to the Northeast. So they knew a lot about it. We don't down here, us dumb Southern bumpkins and you cozy Midwesterners or
hey,
whatever.
There you go.
Don't know it. Don't know a lot about
I'll take a cozy
lacrosse.
Midwesterner.
I'll tell you what I'll take. $15 you owe me for betting on Iowa the other night.
Hey, I always just move them one over. I had no faith in this team. And I'm actually glad. I mean, I was this team was just rough at the end. I'm glad I don't have to expend any more
I hate
energy.
when fans say that. I hear you, but like you're glad they lost. You're not glad they lost.
No, but I don't want to have to go through that. That just what are we doing for 3 hours? And it's like with the Bulls right now. I don't want them to make the playoffs. I don't want to watch this.
What are the Bulls doing? I haven't looked at the NBA standings in 2 months.
I don't know. They're like
Hornets still dead last in the East.
It's possible. Michael Jordan's even trying to get out of there.
Yeah, Jordan's gone. Let's see.
Like the Bulls are a play-in.
They're going to be in that play-in
right,
deal.
and it's like, why?
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to watch it. And so that's where it comes from. I just don't want to do it.
Yeah. Well, you haven't had to worry about that with the Bears.
No.
You just know what they are.
Yeah.
They are stocking up picks right now. We need to, looking forward to my Friday chat with Tony Dunn about the Panthers because they have been very active here of late. I saw something on Twitter yesterday. It said, how many of the 32 teams would Cam Newton start for today? I have an answer for that. 0, because he's available, right? He's not dead.
Right, it would be 0.
He's still alive. He's still available to join a team. If he could start, he would start, right?
Yep.
So I'm going 0.
Yeah.
Am I saying Sam Howell's better than Cam Newton? I don't know. Maybe.
But there's more that you don't know about Sam Howell, and there's we already know what Cam Newton is.
Yeah, and if he could start for a team, he would because, again, he is
especially at that
available.
position where the NFL is so thirsty for any sort of capable quarterback. They're going to exhaust all options, and if your name's not getting called, you can't play.
Yeah. Some moves made today in the NFL. The Jets and Chiefs and Browns involving in swapping receivers. So Mecole Hardman goes to the Jets. Elijah Moore goes from the Jets to the Browns. I am contemplating on what to do with Garrett Wilson in a keeper scenario with Aaron Rodgers throwing to him and the year he had last year. I'm thinking of keeping some stock in Garrett Wilson. I could see him having a big sophomore season there for the Jets. So keeping an eye on that.
As much as I despise Aaron Rodgers, he does make receivers look good.
So what are your thoughts as a Bears fan on Rodgers out of Green Bay?
I'm thrilled he's getting out of the division.
I talked to Packers fans, and I just don't think, especially ones my age or especially younger, they just don't know how good they've had it. And you can relate to this, right, being a Bears fan. I mean, since my football watching life, which is mid-90s, early to mid-90s, they have had an all-pro quarterback, a Super Bowl quarterback.
Yep.
Now, the only one won a piece. You could argue that they should have done more with two legends like Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. But that's what they've had. Look at what I think our two teams, along with the Browns and maybe the Jets, that's an example of what you have when you don't have that stable quarterback.
Right. It's the most important position in sports, and I think the Bears are, if not the only team, maybe one of two who's never had like a 4,000-yard passer.
That's right.
It's insane. And then, I mean, the Packers, like you said, they've had it for 30 years of just all-pro level quarterback, just the best quarterbacks in the league.
Legitimately 30 years.
Yeah.
At least. I remember kind of the Magic Man for Green Bay and when he was replaced by Brett Favre. And then since then, it has been all. They are due for 2 decades of crap quarterback play.
Yes, they deserve it.
Not only are they due for it, they deserve it.
Yeah, you got to know how the other side feels.
And so now we're starting to see Green Bay go down and the Lions go up. Like there's a lot of Lions love.
Yeah, it's like I think they're the favorites in the NFC North.
No way.
They've got to be.
Let me see if they got.
Because I don't know what the
odds
Vikings. You don't even know if they know what they're doing.
They
got Cousins. But still, like you've already saw how that tops out. Like what's the ceiling? We've already seen that ceiling.
Yeah.
Bears aren't ready yet. Packers with Jordan Love. It's like who knows?
I don't see odds here, but it's got to be.
I would imagine it's
somewhere.
the Lions.
At least
they have 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks. I mean, Jared Goff he's not super exciting, but they can put up points at home. I mean, it's weird to say, but the Lions, they might be good.
All right, let's see what they got as far as the highest Super Bowl. The Lions plus 2,500.
That's not bad.
The Vikings are 4,000.
Right.
Bears 5,000. Did I miss the Packers? I got to be up here somewhere.
I wonder if they're just not listed because the quarterback's in doubt.
Packers 2,800.
Okay, 28.
So the Lions are the favorite in the
North. Yeah.
And so they're going to be the division favorite going into this year?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
I mean, they have 2 first-round picks as well. They're just going to reload.
And they've got the kneecap biter, Dan Campbell.
Yeah,
I got to be honest.
I don't know if he's the coach to take him there.
I didn't think it would work. Like, he cries every game. Like, I tell you what, the players love him.
Yeah.
And if he can have smart people on offense and defense around him, then they can do it.
Yeah, if he can be like the motivator kind of guy, and then you can have some smart people as your coordinators and assistants to help foster, some actual football going on, I think it can work.
This is crazy to say, too. They have the only Super Bowl experience out of the whole division at quarterback. Jared Goff went to a Super Bowl.
Man.
Now, he did, they scored like 3 points.
Yeah, he didn't play well.
But he's got
there.
Super Bowl experience, and none of the other teams can say that about the QB position right now.
Wow.
So
the Lions, who would have thought?
Yep. How you feel about Fields?
I feel good. I'm really excited. I think this is a very big year for him and even the Bears, just to kind of see, is this our guy for sure? He's got plenty of options to throw to. Hopefully they can, just retool that offensive line a little bit. But yeah, he's so exciting. Like, he's an appointment television on Sunday. When he's playing, you got to watch. He's going to do something crazy, and I just hope it translates to wins.
Yeah. Patrick, thanks for hanging out. We'll let you head over to Johnson Stadium and check out some lacrosse.
Sounds good. Thanks.
After the game, going to stop by AJ's. We'll be there.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Wednesday night.
Trivia? Man.
Yeah. And by the way, Steve Hill is guest hosting tonight, which means I'll be participating.
Ooh, okay.
Join the squad.
Other side of the glass. Okay.
Come on out. So we got that going on tonight at AJ McMurphy's. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. More to go. We'll wrap up hour number 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after these words.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey cheesy crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously, but as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Great. It's 30 degrees in here. This is going to be a cold night.
No one's coming out this late.
I'm on firewood.
Dad! I'll put hot coals in our socks for bedtime.
Mom!
Hi, I'm from Delcor Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Got an email about your heat being out?
That was me. I sent it from my phone.
I think your socks are on fire.
Call Delcor today to get a new system installed for less than $100 a month. Offer expires soon. Go to delcorinc.com. Monthly fee based on new system financing is 9.9% APR for 120 months. Call Delcor for details.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American airline flights perfect for your next trip. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
Pirate Radio.
We'll strap it on with anybody, anywhere. It doesn't matter. I know this. I want to win or lose with the group that we have in our locker room.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store, serving the best cheese, biscuits, and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Shirley.
Clipper.
Audible call. Do you have Julius Wood from Searity?
I do.
I want to hear it. Julius Wood. Bringing the wood. ECU safety. Saw he's going to wear number 4 this year. 32 last year, I believe.
Yes,
in the 30s. And Pirate Radio Mike's camera and Peoples were out there this weekend, and we've heard what Mike Houston, what Mason Garcia, what Jalen Johnson had to say. Let's hear Julius Wood from Saturday coming off the practice field.
So which one I'm looking at? All of them?
Yeah, look straight. Either way. A week into the spring ball, Julius, just how you feel like it's gone this far?
It's going pretty good. Everybody coming together, and everybody, like the transfers coming in, everybody's getting used to each other, and it's just been a sight to see for real. And just to see the athletic ability that they bring to the team is just a wonderful sight to see. And once it all comes together, it's going to be super nice to see on the field.
You obviously were a JUCO guy a couple of years ago, and you kind of had to come in and learn on the fly. How different is it now, like maybe teaching some of the guys in similar situations coming in as transfers themselves?
It's just like coming in to mature and just learning the playbook and staying in the playbook and just really just slowing the game down and just not making it as fast as on yourself, you know, because sometimes people play too fast for the game, and then once they slow it down, things just start to come naturally to them, and the game starts to become easier to them. So,
how do you connect with these new faces on defense off the field?
Off the field, we just try to meet up as much as we can, watch film, play the video game with each other, just anything competitive, just to, you know, get used to each other being, you know, just on edge with each other, you know.
What's
just
the game?
With the game, yeah. Madden, Fight Night.
Who's the best on the stick?
Man, you know I'm going to say me, for sure, but there's a lot of good dudes out there that play the game and stuff, but Call of Duty, that's my game that I go to.
I like it.
Yes, sir.
Going back to number 4 this year, I believe that was your old number, so
yes,
take us through getting that number back.
It was good to get it back. I started off in Little League with it, and then I went to high school with the same number, and then I played in junior college with this number also, so it just feels good to have it back on my chest, and it just brings so much more out of me that it does for me, so I just can't wait to wear it on game day.
Was it hard to give 32 at all? Because you made some pretty big plays in that.
Yeah, I enjoyed 32. I feel like it was a chapter, but Nah, it's nothing like having that 4 on my chest.
What was it like getting it out here and getting a little physical today?
I loved it because, like, you know, when you ain't got no pads on and stuff, it don't feel like football. You going through the techniques and stuff, so you just working on techniques. But once it comes to having the pads on and doing all those things of that such, it's just a great feeling to have them pads back on and get physical and play a physical game how it's supposed to be played. So, a wonderful feeling.
All right, there is Julius Wood talking numbers, play, and video games. He said fight night there. That reminded me I had some boxing games like on the old PlayStation 2. I hadn't played one of those in decades. And I'm looking it up right now. It's still a thing. Graphics look amazing. The Mike Tyson, like, cuts in his hair and everything. It looks
very detailed.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I kind of want to play one of those now. Going to number 4. One of my all-time favorite Pirate defenders on the back end of the defense, wearing number 4, Van Eskridge. And also, did Kyle Chase wear number 4? I'm a big Kyle Chase fan. He did. So that has been a very good number for ECU safeties and DBs in the past.
Speaking of that secondary, just being out there in practice and just looking at them on the field and seeing them versus the wide receivers, man, they're long. We've got some real length in the secondary now, I think, this year.
I remember being excited about newcomers last year at the beginning of the season and hoping to see them on the field, and we didn't see a lot of them. Revel, the long corner, and those guys, we're going to see a lot of them this year, I believe. Right. And just looking at the DBs and what they have right now at corner and safety. So, your corners that we've seen, IBM, he was like a Isaiah Brown Murray. What was he, a spring darling or a fall camp darling that we didn't see a lot of in games? But
spring darling. He's
got some experience. Siobhan Ravel, 6'2", 181, and he's got that wingspan. The other, Fletcher Marshall Jr., 6'2", 192, trying to build like a mini Legion of Boom with all the tall, lengthy DBs. Yeah. And we'll ask Igoe in the third hour, you know, who are the stars now with some folks leaving that secondary for East Carolina, Juwan Powell and others. So I don't know. There's a lot of spots to be filled when it comes to specifically the cornerback position. And then at safety, you've got Tegan Wilk and Julius Wood, who we've seen play a lot of football here. And who are the next guys up at that position? So we'll talk about that, too, coming up. When we talk to Stephen Igoe for the final time, folks, not making a big deal about it, but the last time you will see and hear Stephen Igoe on Pirate Radio coming up in hour number 3. All right, about to get things underway both on the softball diamond in Wilmington and the lacrosse field here in Greenville. So we'll keep you up to date on what's going on out there on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by Da Buck.
Da Buck.
Anything else, Glenn? We've got like 2 minutes before we take a break. Sell me on WrestleMania.
The big dog and the Bloodline storyline comes to a head at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I just, you know how I feel.
So you lost interest when it switched from Cody, or it switched from Sammy to Cody?
The Sammy stuff was amazing. It was awesome.
But they had his moment in Montreal and all that.
I was invested, and just you've had this Roman Reigns thing going on for a decade now, where he was Vince's guy, so they tried to make him the face and a face,
like John
of the
Cena.
company.
Yes,
make him the Cena. They finally figured out that Roman is at his best playing the heel, and he has won me over for the character he is now. He is phenomenal. The brash, cocky, I'm the greatest, the boss. Like, man, he has played it perfect. So the guy that's going to topple over a half decade of that is Cody Rhodes, Stardust. I don't.
You don't buy it.
It doesn't do it for me. And I don't know how it does it for everyone.
Man, it really does it for me, though, because
I know, but I don't understand
Dusty's
how.
son.
I know, but we had Dusty Sun in WWE forever, and he was a joke.
But he did. But the point is that he's going to get to do the thing that his daddy never got to do.
I love how WWE too does not, I feel like there's a bit of a change going here, where they didn't acknowledge any other companies out there at all. They pretended they didn't exist, but they bring back Cody as this. Like, why did he just show up out of nowhere as this guy? Well, it's because he was with AEW and he was the guy. So now are we supposed to acknowledge that, I guess?
I mean, Roman did. Roman has in his promos.
And I'm glad WWE does that. Like they do.
And so is I mean, I think the reason that whole storyline is different and everything around Roman's different is because Paul Heyman writes it.
Yeah, and
like
he's awesome.
Creative, and he's just the best.
I thought that the return of Bray Wyatt was going to do it for me, but
Man, it's bad.
That is
he's not even on screen.
Yeah, that is a bummer.
Yep,
it's just not going to work. It's
not going to work.
Happen.
He needs to go make movies or something.
I guess I'll be invested in KO and Sammy versus the Usos.
I mean, that's good stuff.
Yeah, I'll get into that.
That and then the Roman thing.
Yeah.
I mean, just the presentation and all that of Mania makes it worth it, kind of in itself. It's almost like the Super Bowl. Like if you just watch it as an entertainment experience, it can't be bad.
And I have enjoyed just watching these pay-per-views. Enjoyed the Royal Rumble.
You're right. I like checking in every once in a while, watching the show, and then just not really being invested.
I watched the Sammy Roman Montreal deal.
Yeah.
Whatever they're calling that now. Roadblock, Fastlane. Well, it was Elimination Chamber.
Elimination Chamber is what it was.
That was a good show. That's how you consume WWE. You just watch the big shows and don't worry about weekly.
Stay away from TV.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. When we return, Stephen Igoe joins us for the final time ever.
Should we line up and boo him? Should we have like a heckling line?
No, not at all. Not at all. I do have an envelope of 10 questions that I wrote for him.
Like it.
To see if he'll answer.
A sealed envelope?
It is sealed.
Like it.
Stephen Igoe joins us. We'll talk Pirate baseball, Pirate football, Pirate hoops, and more. World Baseball Classic, MLB, all that when we return. Pirate Radio Live after this.
Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates. They're open every day and have live music every night, along with 18 big screen TVs to watch all your favorite sporting events. Tuesday, it's karaoke with DJ Captain Morgan. Wednesdays, it's line dancing. Thursday night is the dance party with DJ Kid Scene. And live music every Friday and Saturday night with the best bands on the East Coast. Follow the Buck on Instagram for more information on scheduled events, and we'll see you at the Buck.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates!
At U.S. Cellular, you can get one line for just $29.99 with unlimited data, which is good news for you, friendly hermit who shuns society and lives in a cabin all by himself.
Wow, thanks. You know, you'd be surprised how much data a hermit goes through.
Actually, I'm not that surprised at all. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for U.S. Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
North Carolina State Parks invites you to enjoy camping your way. With the weather changing, booking your own cabin is the perfect solution for your camping getaway. Reserve campsites or cabins today at Jones Lake, Goose Creek, and Cliffs of the Neuse. Whether you enjoy traditional camping or air-conditioned cabins that can be rented with Wi-Fi, your next adventure can include hiking, beautiful scenery, and sunsets by the campfire. For information on booking a cabin, visit ncparks.gov.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
Do you have any real estate questions about buying or selling residential or commercial properties? Are you curious about this current real estate market? Do you need a property manager for all your rental houses? This is proud ECU alum Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty and SD Harris Properties, and I would love to help answer every question you have and show you a real estate experience that will be memorable and enjoyable. Every step of the way, I'm here to make your dreams a stress-free reality. Call me today at 347-1857. That's 347-1857. Go Pirates.
This is Mark Washington with Max Sports Performance at Max Fitness. Our facility has reopened and is following all safety protocols. The best thing you can do to strengthen your immune system is, of course, to work out and exercise on a regular basis. I can assist you as your performance coach. You can also enjoy the benefits of a private facility. Avoid the crowds and work out at Max Fitness. Now is the time to get healthy. Max Fitness, just off Highway 43 in the old Ace Hardware building behind Speedway in Greenville. Call me, Mark Washington, 902-4877.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Order Jersey Mike subs on the mobile app and get delivery right now to your home, or save time and order ahead to skip the line to pick up from your nearest Jersey Mike sub location. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live, here on a Wednesday. Clip Rock, Shirley Rhodes, the big dog, Glenn Griffin, joining us, and Stephen Igoe, hoist the colors, in his last ever Pirate Radio appearance.
I mean, if you say last ever, that means for eternity.
Do you have plans to be back on Pirate Radio?
I mean, not right now, but I would never say last ever. You can never rule anything out.
All right. His last appearance on Pirate Radio for a long time, potentially ever.
I mean, that's, I guess, technically fair.
All right. Last appearance ever. We are going to reach out to Chandler Honeycutt, who I have to get a report on what's going on out in Fayetteville, because we're hearing some weather stuff here.
Yep.
We're hearing some issues with guys getting work in pregame. So I want to go to the source, and he probably doesn't want to go on with us. So
he's got to be flustered, right?
He might not answer his phone. He's flustered when everything's going fine. Now it's going on. No answer from Chandler.
Nope, it went right to his voicemail.
He sent me a text message.
Right, he's got stuff going on.
The phone, so either he's on the phone with somebody or he's not answering my phone. Let's just put it that way.
Igoe, what are you hearing about this game in Fayetteville right now?
I've texted with a few people there, and it sounds like it's a bit of a cluster. I don't think it was necessarily supposed to rain a lot today, and maybe this just kind of came up out of nowhere. But either way, the team got there. They've been on the bus. I'm not sure if they've made their way to the dugout yet as far as equipment and all of that, but they're kind of in a holding pattern, and it's a neutral site game, so really neither Campbell or ECU are in charge of making the decision. I guess it's up to the Fayetteville Woodpeckers. And then you got, new location. You want to take BP there, kind of get familiar with the sites, but It sounds like for whatever reason the Woodpeckers didn't have their batting cages set up. for that, and then you have this, so there's no pregame BP as of now, so it just sounds like a bit of a mess, and we'll see if they can play. I guess it is truly weather dependent.
I have confirmation that the tarp is out on the field now in Fayetteville. So
yeah,
well, maybe we'll get
out there a while. Yeah,
maybe we'll get more confirmation in just a moment, because joining us, man on the scene, Scrappy Doo Chandler Honeycutt, live from Fayetteville, North Carolina, close to his old stomping grounds. Chandler, how you doing?
Good, Cliff. Good to be here in Fayetteville tonight to check out ECU versus Campbell.
If it's played.
20 matchup. They just got the tarps off the field and are about ready for baseball here in the next 45 minutes. It is drizzling a little bit, but the Pirates just made their way to their dugout. The tarp is coming off the field, and we are about ready for baseball here in downtown Fayetteville.
What an update. Good job, Chandler. We were gloom and doom a moment ago, but we got a man on the scene right now saying play ball. So, I don't know, maybe some issues with BP, a little weather in the area. Chandler, are they calling for more rain? What is your forecast telling us right now?
What I checked out earlier is that right now there is a little drizzle in the air. The rain was a little harder earlier, but it is seeming to kind of ease up a little bit. But right now it looks like it's going to be clear around first pitch, which is scheduled for 6 o'clock. And I think we're going to be ready for baseball come 6 o'clock for ECU versus Campbell.
Chandler, you sound like a true professional reporter on the phone, man. I just want to give you props for A, being there, but B, bringing the energy, the information. You seem really at home in Fayetteville.
No, I'm really excited. It's my first time on the road covering ECU baseball, and this is a ballpark that I've been to several times. I've been to several Woodpeckers games, and I'm going to get some video tonight. You got to check out this ballpark. It's a single-A ballpark, but I mean, it's got a AAA vibe to it. And Pirate fans, just by the way, Pirate fans are already filling into the stadium. We've said it before. Pirate fans have done a great job traveling this year to Elon, to Kannapolis, to Durham, to Wilmington. And it looks like there's going to be a good Pirate fans on hand here tonight in Fayetteville.
Eric M. on YouTube said Chandler nailed that eyewitness report, and he does weather too. That guy is talented. Chandler, I'm like a proud father sitting here listening to this report. We set a low bar for you. We may have said some things earlier in the show to disgrace you and your family name, but man, you have come through more than I ever could have imagined. Well done, sir.
Oh, well, here's the thing. I actually heard what you guys said earlier, so I had to prove you guys wrong. But I am here on hand, and I am ready for ECU baseball. And by the way, folks, keep up with Pirate Radio on Twitter. I should have some live updates as we go along, because I do not believe this game will not be televised tonight. So I will have some live updates via Twitter. So check that out on PR927 FM.
Glenn looks like he's about to cry in there. I mean, we're just so proud of you, buddy. Thank you. Keep up the good work. Now you've nailed the pregame, but as you know, it's a long game. So just stay focused. I love that you're using our comments as a chip on your shoulder, and you're proving us wrong, and just keep on proving the doubters wrong, Chandler.
All right, no problem, guys. Y'all have a good rest of the show.
Hey, Chandler, you still there?
Yo.
Are you prepared to ask Cliff Godwin questions after a loss tonight? If it happens.
I have been thinking about that. I have been thinking about how I might be the only person asking them questions after the game. We have an intern here.
Yep.
Maybe he'll ask some questions, so I'm going to have to think of some questions to ask him. But I have been thinking about, what if the Pirates lose? It's never fun asking Cliff Godwin questions after a loss. But hopefully they win tonight, and I can have some fun with him, especially asking him. I plan on asking him who has the best mustache on the team, but I'm not going to do that after a loss. Hopefully the Pirates win, so I can ask him that.
All right.
Yeah, definitely go after a win. If it's a loss, steer clear. But best of luck, man.
Great video of the tar being pulled off. Chandler getting it done at Segra Stadium, our MVP today at Pirate Radio. Thanks, Chan.
All right, thanks, guys. See y'all.
Man, that was awesome.
I'm so proud.
And shout out to me for being a non-believer and not believing Chandler could get the job done down there. He is killing it, folks. And I'm legitimately proud. I'm retweeting his tarp video as we speak. That was awesome.
I feel like you graduated. Like, that was
Yeah. I feel like this is a turning point for Chandler.
For sure.
And it's a turning point for Stephen Igoe from Hoist the Colors, who will not be on Pirate. What do you mean?
I thought we were just going to have a normal segment.
We are, but, I mean, there's elephants all over the room.
I don't see a single elephant.
We don't have to go.
I didn't even know this would be my last show.
Well, it is. It is. Well, you got big life news next week, right?
Yeah, yep. Second baby on the way and scheduled for the end of this month. So, yeah, at any moment now, technically, could be my last minute because you never know when you could get that call. But as of now, scheduled for late next week for baby number 2, daughter on the way. So excited for that news and going to get a lot more crazier in the coming weeks and months.
All right, and yeah, I do want to hit on a lot of baseball, football, basketball with you, but I do have questions that I'd like to ask you.
All right.
And you're not under oath. You don't have to answer these. Shirley, let me go grab my questions out of this envelope here. Did you hit the music? No, not yet. Hit the ABC.
Is that a manila envelope?
These are official questions that I typed up today, Stephen Igoe. Again, you don't have to answer these. You can answer them how you feel you would like to answer them. So here we go. I spent a lot of time putting these together. Igoe. Question 3 is a long one.
That is a long one.
All right, question 1. How dare you?
How dare I what?
That's the whole question. How dare you?
Do I need to answer that?
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
All right. No, you got nothing for that one?
I got nothing.
Question 2. How could you do this to me?
Well, I was never doing anything to you. It's more of a personal decision.
All right. Question 3.
You did come up with my thoughts, though.
Thank you. In the past, when players transfer, I haven't questioned any of their motives. It's their life, their decision. They have to look out for themselves and do what's best for them. You have questioned some of them. If a player has been around and graduated, you say it's fine for them to leave. If they haven't, you question their decision and sometimes say they aren't making the best decision. In this specific scenario, I will stay consistent and say this is your decision to make and you have to do what's best for you and your family. But are you questioning your decision and will you criticize your decision or are you a hypocrite?
No, that's a really good question.
Thank you. I thought that was a good
If I would have made the decision that we're not talking about blindly, I would say that I would question my decision. But when you take several hours and days to think about it, I would say I will not question the decision.
Will you allow me to ask a follow-up to that question?
Sure.
Do you think some of the players that transferred that you've questioned their decisions haven't taken several hours and days?
I'm sure some of them make rash decisions. I would not consider this a rash decision.
Interesting. All right. Question 4. How do you look yourself in the mirror?
I get up every day and I see myself in the mirror.
All right.
And there I am.
There you are. Question 5. Will we ever get Hoist the Colors t-shirts?
Yes. At some point.
All right. Good. Question 6. Do you still love me?
Absolutely. I told you that last week.
I just wanted
I'll say it on the air. Love you, Clip.
Wanted to hear it again. Love you too. Question 7. Are you looking to replace me with someone else like me?
No. You're irreplaceable.
Good answer. Whether I believe it or not, to be seen. Question 8. Do you consider yourself to be a proven commodity?
When it comes to delivering ECU information and recruiting news, I would say I'm a proven commodity at this point. Been doing it 10, 11 years. I don't think I'm quite to the level of Aaron Jarman when he transferred in as a proven commodity. He was, we had that debate on the air.
We did.
About, is he a proven commodity? As a blocker, he was a proven commodity. So I would say I'm a proven commodity in that regard. Would you consider yourself a proven commodity in your role?
For what I do, I would. And I'm not answering the questions I'm asking you, but I would consider you a proven commodity. Number 9, was Benedict Arnold misunderstood?
What is he? What is that even from?
No answer?
No.
All right. Question 10, will you name your daughter Clip?
No, but her name will start with a C.
Interesting.
Could be Clifton.
All right, those are my 10 questions. You handled that well, Steve.
I'm sweating, man. I'm like getting peppered with questions over here.
How about January 2012, Igoe? Your first Pirate Radio appearance. Is it hard to believe it's been that long? 11 years?
It's crazy, man. I knew, I meant to look back at that. If I would have known this would have been my final show, I would have, because I was going to bring that up when did you first reach out to me, right?
I did. I was looking for people to play sports trivia. I was a fan of your forum and would go to it. And I was like, sports guy around here. I'm looking for sports folks. Contacted you, got you on. There's some great messages here from the DMs where we're setting up. I said, do you listen to Pirate Radio? Are you familiar with the show at all? Yeah, I listen quite a bit. I know you've got Philip Henry and Colin up there a lot.
Colin, gosh, that's a throwback.
Okay, cool. We'll have you, Castleberry, and another guy coming in. And then I said, I like this one, where I say, are you currently a student? I'll promote you as creator of HTC and a student. Is your last name pronounced Igoe, E-Y-E-G-O? And you had to... and then I mentioned that I coached your brother Scott in Little League football.
With the Cowboys.
Yeah, how about them Cowboys? So, yeah.
Good old days.
11 years ago, Stephen.
That's crazy,
Look at us now.
Great friends. We'll remain great friends. So, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I owe Pirate Radio incredible amount of really debt going forward just for everything you guys did for me. I think Hoisted Colors, Pirate Radio both benefited from each other, and it's been awesome, man. It's not going to be the same, but, yeah, I'm excited about what's next, which we'll talk about at some point. Not on this show.
It's life.
Yeah.
Things change. People change.
We'll still see each other in the ECU baseball press box around town at sports trivia. I'm planning to try and go a little bit more. So, and maybe we can hang out a little bit more outside the studio, man. Watch some games.
Bring Clifton to sports trivia. Clifton and Slater.
Yep. Clifton and Slater. Brother and sister.
Clifton Igoe, a beautiful girl. That's a beautiful girl's name, Clifton. Redbeard says, do you replace Igloo with Mark Lindsay? I mean,
that's a good question.
Who fills the shoes of Stephen Igoe? It's going to be tough to do. Maybe Scott Igoe.
Now, that would be
trying to get him on.
That would be a change.
He is tough to lock down.
What do you turkeys got cooked up for Thanksgiving here?
I mean, that would be fun to have on every week. Scott Igoe is tougher to get to commit to something than like Tom Cruise, like Ken Griffey Jr.
Right. Yeah. And if you do get him to commit to something, he just might show up like, if he's supposed to be at 5, he'll probably be at 5:45. So you really got to squeeze it in when he arrives.
Yeah. So we'll see.
But he would come on the show. There's just no telling when he'd show up.
He's been invited. I invited him secretly to the watch along without even telling you.
Yeah.
And it didn't. And then I saw him later, and he said, "Yeah, I had to sleep, man."
He never even texted me about it, so no surprise.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We got rid of all that. Got through all that. We'll talk some Pirate baseball, some Pirate hoops. Saw your 3 things. I think you were talking about players potentially leaving or not leaving. Wait, what?
What?
I thought we weren't supposed to talk about that.
No, it was. I mentioned
I know
the way that ECU's dealing with the portal, trying to recruit players, and B, why they're going to stay. I wasn't saying, hey, Javon Small needs to leave or whatever. So
we will talk to Mike Schwartz coming up next Tuesday at 3:00. We'll talk to Kim McNeil Thursday at 5:00. So we will kind of tie a bow on these basketball seasons and look ahead with Coach. Am I still on? Oh, God. Are your headphones popping? What's happening over here? All right, now it's back. That was weird. My headphones are popping. Are you sabotaging us?
I might be. You never know.
Mike Schwartz next Thursday, next Tuesday, Kim McNeil on Thursday. We will talk hoops with them. We'll talk hoops, baseball, football with Igoe when we return after this.
Here with Jeff Stein at Brown & Wood. Jeff, what can you do for people looking for a new vehicle in 2023?
We can show the people the number one selling car in the region, the Buick Encore, the Encore GX, the Envision, and the Buick Enclave. We've also got Cadillac dominating the market with the XT4, XT5, and XT6, and we continue to get new GMC Sierra trucks in daily. Please come see us at 329 Southwest Greenville Boulevard. Brown & Wood, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsey Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Spring merchandise is arriving daily and we need to make room. Hey Pirate fans, it's Russell with Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington. Rhonda is taking markdowns of 75% on all remaining winter merchandise for men and women. This is our biggest sale of the year, so don't miss out. Outerwear, sportswear, dresses, and tops, all at 75% off. This is your opportunity to view all the new spring goodies and save a bunch on sale merchandise. Shop the biggest sale of the year now going on at Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington.
Go Pirates!
Familia is your go-to spot for the best Italian dishes around, including pizzas, pastas, salads, and homemade desserts.
That's Familia.
Enjoy half-off wine night on Wednesdays, $3 drafts on Thursdays, or get a pizza of the week for just $12.
That's Familia.
Place your order online or call 689-6330, and Familia will have your order ready in their drive-thru window for pickup.
That's Familia.
Clip, really?
Oh, sorry.
Familia on Fire Tower Road in Winterville near Pitt Community College.
Take control of your health today with Arc Point Labs. Are you feeling tired, exhausted, or lethargic and not able to explain why? Fatigue can be caused by a number of things such as lack of sleep, illness, or chronic disease. The ArcPoint Lab Fatigue Panel is designed to help people understand what could be causing their fatigue. Get a simple blood test today by getting started at arcpointlabs.com or call 629-6228. ArcPoint Labs. Accurate, reliable, confidential testing. Visit arcpointlabs.com.
This is Mark Washington with Max Sports Performance at Max Fitness. Our facility has reopened and is following all safety protocols. The best thing you can do to strengthen your immune system is, of course, to work out and exercise on a regular basis. I can assist you as your performance coach. You can also enjoy the benefits of a private facility. Avoid the crowds and work out at Max Fitness. Now is the time to get healthy. Max Fitness, just off Highway 43 in the old Ace Hardware building behind Speedway in Greenville. Call me, Mark Washington, 902-4877.
Do you ever talk to yourself about where to eat today, and then you hear
Warren's Hot Dogs?
Then you're thinking, yeah, 2 hot dogs, chips, and a drink for only $6.25 would be awesome.
Warren's Hot Dogs.
And maybe some homemade lemonade, perhaps a pizza or a sub, and definitely an apple or peach turnover.
Warren's Hot Dogs.
Don't overthink where to eat today. Go to Warren's Hot Dogs in Greenville across from Ron Ayers or in Chocowinity next to the fire station. Warren's Hot Dogs, serving the Pirate Nation since 1991. Go Pirates! The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs. From big kids to little kids, Sparky Snowballs has been making smiles happen for over 20 years. If you're not in the mood to chill out with a snowball, Sparky's funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparky-licious treat every time. Are you having an event, party, or fundraiser? Call Sparky's to come on site. Remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com to see where they'll be next.
This is Isaiah Winstead. You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington has everything you need for game day or any other day for men and women. Whether it's dress, casual, or even a formal occasion, Russell's has you covered. They have served Eastern North Carolina and beyond for 40 years with quality clothing and personal service. Russell's Clothing on Main Street in downtown Washington. Pirates supporting Pirates. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Clip, I do have a quick Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard update for you. East Carolina in the bottom of the second in softball, no score as of yet.
Thank you for that, Shirley Rhodes. All right, welcome back to the show, Clip Rock, Shirley Rhodes, the big dog. We got the Chan Man getting it done down in Fayetteville. And Stephen Igoe joining us for his final appearance on the show ever. Stephen, we were talking football a moment ago, and I want to ask you about these long, lengthy DBs. We heard from Julius Wood making the move to number 4. That number is personal to him and sounded like he was very happy to be in the number 4. Reminded me of one of my all-time favorites, Van Eskridge, and I'm a big fan of, personally, Kyle Chase, great guy, both wearing the number 4 back there for ECU, both productive players, especially Van Eskridge on some championship teams.
Yeah, Van is probably the most recognizable number 4 in ECU secondary history as far as numbers, at least since I've grown up watching the program. And, man, he could hit you. I think Julius just, it sounds kind of silly to say, but looking at him on the field, like, sometimes guys do number changes and it doesn't work. It doesn't fit. Like, 4 looks good on Julius Wood. 32 is fine, too. Like, 32 is a cool number, but 4 is kind of a striking number. So, look good, feel good, play good, that sort of deal. I think he's going to fall in that realm. He's kind of worn it his whole career. And now going into his second year as a full-time starter, I think he's going to make some big jumps. I mean, he made a ton of impact plays last year. Now it's just being more consistent in coverage and doing that sort of stuff. But speed, length, tackling ability, I mean, he's got all the skills to be a special player.
While we're on the topic of safeties, we've seen Julius Wood and Tegan Wilk play a ton of football. What other safeties are you excited about this spring that can make an impact this fall?
Safeties, obviously you got Tegan Wilk returning. They're pretty deep now at safety with the addition of a couple transfers. Dontavius Nash from North Carolina is another guy with good size who's done well this preseason. They also brought in all CAA safety transfer Omar Rogers. So you added a couple transfers. Then you have a couple returners in Devin King, who was placed on scholarship, and also Ty Moss, who, former Whiteville quarterback who's played safety now a couple years. So I feel pretty good about the 2 deep at safety on the back end. And then you got the Sam position, which is kind of the extension of safety / linebacker. You got 2 guys competing there, Kingston McKinstry, who has been in the program now a couple years, former JUCO recruit, and Ra Dilworth, who played more inside linebacker at North Carolina, but to me is better suited for that Sam role where he can just get out, use the speed and space. So those are kind of the guys.
And that's an important position. That's where we lost Stringer and
Gyra's played there in the past. Yeah. Last year, Gyra played more of boundary safety, but he's played a lot at Sam in the past. And then Stringer was basically full-time Sam last year. It's kind of that guy who's basically a nickel back, but has the potential to blitz, run fit a lot, also do some man coverage and some other coverage stuff. So, Ra has 4.4 speed. He's about 6'1", 200 pounds, and he may not have quite the coverage ability that Stringer and some of the other guys had, but he's got more straight line speed. He'll be able to cover a ton of ground. I think you put him in certain packages, and especially on blitzes, man, he should be an absolute force.
Corner position, you're losing to Malik Fleming out, and I remember last year being very excited about these tall, lengthy corners, Revel and Fletcher Marshall Jr., and then during the season didn't really see him at all. I guess Revel came on maybe towards the end.
Yeah.
But so who is there, like an open competition at corner right now, or are there guys who have spots here this spring?
It's pretty open. I mean, I would think that Siobhan Revel kind of has a leg up just based on how he's trended towards the end of last year and the fact he's returning, and almost everybody else in that room besides Isaiah Brown Murray and Fletcher Marshall are new. The interesting thing is I think Revel, however you say it, is going to play a lot. He's 6'2", 180, runs the 4.4, broad jumps like 11 feet. Like, he's just a freak athlete. He's just got to put it all together. And for those JUCO guys that come in year one, not only is it a little bit of a struggle at times in terms of learning the scheme and kind of adjusting to D1 life, but he also, I think, broke his thumb or a finger or something, so he was slowed by that right in preseason camp. So towards the end of the year, you started to see him coming on. Fletcher Marshall kind of the same way. Long, big corner, didn't play as much, had to acclimate. I think he's made some strides. They moved Brandon Higgs, who's another 6'1" guy to corner. So he's long. And then you got Isaiah Brown-Murray, who's more 5'9", 5'10", but similar to like a Jaquan McMillan or Malik Fleming, just covers people. So you kind of have a little bit of all the above, and we're not even talking about Tymier Brown, the 6-foot, transfer from North Carolina who can really run, Jamani Wilson. So we say all these names. I like the personnel upgrades in terms of versatility, length, etc. I think you've got more talent. The problem is you got less experience. So you're going to have some growing pains. People need to understand that, especially when you open at Michigan. It's not the ideal setting, but, the schedule is what the schedule is. So you're going to have to get over some growing pains. But the ceiling, to me, of this defense is higher than last year's just based on the speed and length.
Wasn't Isaiah Winstead a post-spring ad?
He was a summer ad, yep.
All right, so
spring ball ad, post-spring ball.
On that note, what position do you think we see or we need a post-spring ball ad? Do you think we'll see 1, 2, 3 of those for ECU?
I think I think you'll see a number of them because, especially on the offensive side. Receiver, I like where the receiver position is right now in terms of you got Jalen Johnson, but they moved him inside the slot. Kerry King, Josiah Hatfield, you got returning. They're playing more outside right now. They can play slot if needed, but to me, you're missing that 6'3", 6'4" guy on the outside who you can throw it up to, know you're going to get it. They brought in Ryan King from Georgia Tech. Remains to be seen if he can be that guy. He's been kind of limited, but has shown some flashes in spring ball. If you could find that guy, which is easier said than done, like a Winstead or whoever, after spring ball, I think it's a must-add. An offensive tackle, to me, is the other big position. Parker Moore, former West Virginia transfer, is back. Walter Striblin's been in the program for 3 years now. He'll get a shot, but the depth of that position is not great right now. They need to add at least 1 or 2 there, and then you still need another quarterback, in my opinion. You still need another tight end if possible. So I could see them almost adding pretty much everywhere except for running back post-spring ball if it works out.
Stephen Igoe, Oyster Colors, joining us. Tough to say negative, positive, whatever, but you got a feel for Mason Garcia yet going through his first spring as a starting quarterback? How has he handled everything? I thought he sounded great in his interview the other day.
Yeah, I feel good about it. There's still times where you could tell, that the drop-off from going from a fifth-year senior to a first-time starter in terms of making the easy read or the easy throw. But we saw some of the live action on Saturday inside the stadium. He just made a couple throws that you just don't see normal ECU quarterbacks make outside the numbers across the field. Deep out routes, deep comeback routes, NFL caliber throws. So he can do some special things, and I'm not trying to say he's going to go out there and break every record right away, because the biggest thing he's got to work on is consistency. It seems like every 6-7 plays, he either make the wrong read or do an inaccurate throw, like in a live period. So if he can get over that hump, and he's going to, again, have some growing pains in the season, but the skill set is there. It's just he's got to go out and experience it. He's got to make mistakes, learn from it, clean it up, just like we saw Holton. It took Holton 3 years to really reach his peak performance. Part of that was them surrounding him offensively with better weapons. I feel like the offense is in a decent spot there, but they needed to surround him with a few better weapons. But I've been encouraged what I've seen. I think definitely he's, he deserves to be QB1 based off what I've seen in practice thus far.
All right, we got a lot of question marks on our own. You talked about offense there, potentially adding some guys.
6:30 first pitch, by the way.
6:30 first pitch. Thank you, Stephen Igoe, for that information. Somebody said yesterday that it might have been a Tulane fan, Tulane king of the new AAC. And I just don't know if I believe that, even if we're just talking football specifically. Willie Fritz is back. That's great for them. They can keep some continuity there. But we've seen teams have these one-year runs, and everything went perfect for them, and then kind of fall back to the middle of the pack. I don't think Tulane's going to be unbeatable or anything for the next 2, 3, 4 years. So I think that there's a chance there is a new champion next year in the American. But who, in your opinion, Igoe, with these new schools coming in, Conference USA 3.0, whatever you want to call it, who is Now you got that?
Yeah, now I'm feeling it.
All right, and I'll tell you why that is happening. It's a correlation between my leg hitting these cords down there, and I'm trying to get it back right.
This is okay. We're just cutting in and out. This is
all right, but the mics work. Y'all can hear us in there, right? All right.
Okay.
We'll just keep going with nothing in our ears.
This is a really weird feeling. All right.
Who is the king of the new American, and how close is ECU to being at the top of
Are we
that
talking
list?
all sports?
Let's go just football.
Just football. I mean, yeah, I don't really think there is one. I guess you have to technically say Tulane because of what they did last year, and they'll probably be the preseason favorite. But for me, I mean, they're losing Tajay Spears, they're losing their linebackers, they're losing some of their stud DBs. So I think it's just kind of wide open. I mean, if I had to pick here today, March 22nd, a top tier going into next year, I'd probably pick Tulane, Memphis, SMU. If ECU had what it was returning, I would have ECU at that realm. I'd have UTSA in that realm as well. And after that, it's kind of just like, who knows, man? I think it's just very wide open. It's for the taking, which is a good thing for ECU. I mean, I think the schedule is manageable. It's not easy, but
have you looked at it like, did we get a favorable schedule, tough schedule, like who we are playing?
I think for the conference-wise, like, it's pretty fair. Like in terms of opening at Rice, like that's a manageable conference opener.
Also, just being around here and watching ECU football forever, it's also very scary.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Rice.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely not a easy win, but I think it's a manageable game. I think SMU playing them at home on a Thursday night is a good draw for ECU. I mean, SMU historically the last few years has not been a good road team. You're getting them. I think both teams are coming off a bye, but still, you're getting them at home across the country.
It does set up to where maybe you can get off to a good start before that big game at UTSA.
I mean, you could conceivably be at least 2-1, if not 3-0 in conference, because you play Charlotte after SMU with time to recover from a Thursday night game, and then you go on the road at UTSA versus Tulane. It's a tough stretch. Even after that, I mean, at UTSA versus Tulane, at FAU, at Navy. I mean, that is a tough stretch. FAU is going to have Tom Herman. In his first year, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he does a great job there. So we know the Navy situation. So I think you almost have to get off to a good start, but I do think you have a chance to build some confidence, build some early success, and then if you can do that, think about how huge those games would be, at UTSA versus Tulane. So again, I think the schedule is manageable outside of the obvious that you open at Michigan, which, to be honest, could be preseason number one. I mean, with all that it is returning, I don't know who would be ahead of them outside of maybe like Alabama or Ohio State.
Was kind of hoping Harbaugh would make the jump back to the NFL just to kind of leave them.
I guess Georgia could be preseason number one. Based off the fact they've won it a couple of years.
But they'll be top 5, definitely.
Yeah, I mean,
top
they'll be
3, potentially.
It'll be one of the toughest games on paper in ECU football history, just in terms of, I think they're projecting it to be the highest ranked team ECU's ever played in football. So, but with that, like, great opportunity. You're going on the road. Nobody's going to expect you to win. It's kind of I don't want to say win-win, because if you lose 50-0, nobody's happy. But is it a can't lose situation if you don't get anybody hurt? Like, you kind of are expected to go up there and lose. So we'll see what happens.
Start to break more of these teams down during the spring, or during the summer when we do our opposing team play-by-play voice chats. But we'll get a Navy update Thursday with Pete Medhurst, football voice of Navy, covering a lot of things right now, including the potential sale of the Commanders. Of course, he's following all the March Madness. We'll ask him about Georgetown hoops, getting Ed Cooley. Can they revive their program? So we'll talk all things sports, but look at Navy coming up Thursday with Pete Medhurst. All right, let's open up the booty bag, Shirley Rhodes, and make somebody a winner here on this Wednesday.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
All right, Shirley Rhodes, what are we giving away today?
How about a $15 gift card to AJ McMurphy's?
AJ McMurphy's. I'll be there tonight, 8 o'clock. Maybe a Patrick Mason appearance. But I'll be participating tonight, so come on out, join my team, or see if you can beat me at sports trivia. What caller are we looking for?
I'm going to go with caller 10.
All right, caller 10, 317-1250. We're back with more Pirate Radio Live after this.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier restaurant and bourbon authority. Jefferson's, Basil Hayden, Woodford Reserve, and a Midwinter Night's Dram are just a few of the incredible bourbon options. The Rick House features the very best steaks and fresh, made-from-scratch pastas. The Rick House can host your corporate event or special parties in the 3,000-square-foot banquet hall. Join the Rick House for Sunday brunch from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and for the wine tastings on the last Friday of every month. The Rick House.
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Vaughn. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Do you have any real estate questions about buying or selling residential or commercial properties? Are you curious about this current real estate market? Do you need a property manager for all your rental houses? This is proud ECU alum Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty and SD Harris Properties, and I would love to help answer every question you have and show you a real estate experience that will be memorable and enjoyable. Every step of the way, I'm here to make your dreams a stress-free reality. Call me today at 347-1857. That's 347-1857. Go Pirates.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates!
Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. University Sportswear ENC.com is your one-stop shop for all promotional products for your business. With over 1 million items to shop from, University Sportswear ENC.com offers high-quality products at prices to fit any budget. Visit University Sportswear ENC.com for contact information and to get shopping. University Sportswear ENC.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio.
You know texting while driving is dangerous. That's not new information. Yet most people admit to doing it anyway. Drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a car accident while texting. Know the facts and wait to text. The danger is real and it applies to you. Auto Owners Insurance. The no problem people. Information provided by Virginia Tech Transportation Institute.
This is Jeff Gibson with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American airline flights perfect for your next trip. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly. Saturdays are your day to kick back, relax, and have fun. That's why Ottavola Market Cafe is the perfect place to go for dinner, drinks, and takeout. Ottavola is open every Saturday at 4 p.m. on the bar side, serving a special selection of menu favorites of appetizers, pastas, and specialty pizzas. Whether it's dine-in, takeout, or drinks with friends, Ottavola is the best choice every Saturday starting at 4 o'clock. Visit OttavolaMarket.com to see what's new and visit Ottavola on Red Banks Road every Saturday starting at 4. Ottavola, Pirates supporting Pirates.
This is Coach Donnie Kirkpatrick, offense coordinator for ECU football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. To get the business services that are right for your business today, contact the team of experienced local bankers at First Bank. The team includes bankers you can trust like Ashley Capps, Lee Watson, Bonner Lathan, them. Chris Richards, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nesbitt. First Bank, together with their customers, they are creating a world where individuals and communities thrive. First Bank on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. And congratulations to Susan Deans of Greenville. Picked up a $15 gift card to AJ McMurphy's in the best place in Greenville to unwind after work and have fun is AJ's. They have daily food and drink specials and an awesome patio, perfect for some outdoor dining. There's something for everyone every weeknight, including sports trivia with our very own Clip Rock. AJ's has live music every Friday and Saturday with no cover, and brunch every Sunday. Make today an AJ's day. Now let's head back into PRL. And Clip, I do have a quick Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard update for you.
I have an equipment update. During the break, Shirley Rhodes fixed our headphones by plugging in a cord. So thank you, Shirley.
You're welcome. I told Igoe, I said, okay. I said, what's, he said, I don't know. The sound just went out. And I happened to look down on the floor and I said, oh, because it's unplugged.
Makes perfect
Plugged
sense.
it back in.
Thank you.
There you go.
You're the plug that keeps us going.
ECU softball with a 1-0 lead in the top of the fourth over UNCW.
I'll take that.
Yep.
On the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by The Buck. Thank you very much.
Do you have a lacrosse score?
I was going to say, can you give me the Roku remote, Shirley, if you don't mind? I can probably pull it up on the Plus, right?
Yes. I believe it is being televised on the Plus.
Or should we call Patrick Mason live in the press box? Let's thank you, Shirley. We'll see if we can get this pulled up real quick. ECU taking on ranked Duke today at Johnson Stadium. Baseball, Igoe, you've been having your chats on Hoist the Colors on Monday, live podcast, video. So, you used the clickbait headline this week.
Yep.
Is ECU baseball already being disrespected in the polls?
You can thank my ECU degree and educators over there for teaching me good marketing and journalism skills. What sells better, ECU sweeps Missouri State, or are the Pirates being disrespected in the national polls?
And option B.
And two, we had so many comments from people who didn't listen or listen to any of it, which, that's society now. They just take a headline and roll with it. About what are you guys talking about? ECU's not being disrespected. Our point was not that ECU is being ranked too low. It's the criteria that they use to move certain schools ahead of ECU or just up in the polls in general, and then seem to use a different criteria to use to move ECU down. Like when a Virginia or whoever has a 2-2 week with a midweek loss, it's treated differently than when ECU has a 2-2 week with a midweek loss. It just seems like those teams get a pass, whereas ECU does not for its slip-ups. And then when ECU has a really good week, they can still get passed by teams that, beat more marquee teams, as we see a ECU women's lacrosse goal scored.
Pirates trail 10-6 to Duke right now, but they are fired up after that goal. It is 10-6. Well, it makes sense, though. I mean, just wait till we get into league play.
It's going to be the same thing, though.
And all those SEC teams are going back and forth with each other. And you used an ACC example. How strong is the ACC this year?
I mean, it's good. It's definitely better than the American. I'm not saying it's not, but it's just if you compare the resumes, if you did a blind resume of, top 25 wins or that sort of stuff, RPI, like right now, ECU is just as good as, a Virginia, or I can't remember the other team that passed them. But, our point was it just shouldn't happen that way. But so much of the Power 5 narrative, like right now they've got 3 Big Ten baseball teams making the tournament. And I'm sorry, but the Big Ten is not good in baseball. All these teams that come here for regionals are not impressive to me. Indiana was not impressive to me on the Keith Clare Classic weekend. So it bothers me when you've got good baseball being played, not in the American right now because the American's not playing well, but even in certain other conferences that maybe don't get the attention they deserve just because their name isn't the Big 10, Big 12, whatever.
I'm kind of fascinated by this now. ECU just won I guess we're calling it a face-off, and the bench was going nuts. They are super into this game. Pirates trying to cut into a Duke lead right now, 10-6. Duke leads on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard out at Johnson Stadium. Here's a clickbait headline for you, Igoe. The midweek, the rest of the way more important than the weekend for ECU baseball.
In terms of RPI wins and getting notable top 50, top 25 wins, yeah, I mean it is. I mean,
now the problem is if you go by that and say, "Oh, we just lost a series this weekend," I mean that's a killer.
Well, that's the point. Is if you let's say, all right, next week ECU plays, or I think it's UNCW, so maybe the next week would be a better example. NC State, and then they play UCF, which probably isn't the best example either because they're the best team in the conference. But outside of ECU, since we turned this game on, ECU's been playing lights out. Now
2 goals, it's 10-7. The rally is on.
But if you beat a UNC or an NC State in the midweek, and then you turn around and lose a game to RPI 250 Wichita State or RPI, 225 Cincinnati, it kind of cancels each other out. Outside the fact you get a marquee win, but your RPI is going to drop more probably from losing the game you shouldn't lose than rising because you win a good game. So you have to find that balance. I mean, ECU doesn't need to go 6-1 or 7-0 in these midweek games they have remaining, but they do need to at least win their fair share. You don't want to look up at the end of the year and be, 1-6, 2-5 against top 50 because that's going to really hurt your resume.
The Powder Purples are on the field. Video courtesy Chandler Honeycutt. As I got to say, I liked them in person when I got to see them at Clark LeClaire a couple weekends ago, or whenever that was. But they look pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, I mean they're better in person. I'm still not the biggest fan of them, but again, I don't have a problem with them either. Like some people seem to be taking it personal that the team has powder purple uniforms. It's really not that big of a deal.
We have sourced a camera at the Woodpecker Stadium. There is a weather camera that overlooks the outfield, and if you take that and you sync it with your feed, then you're solid gold, baby.
So you can watch the game.
Yeah.
So how do you get to that?
ECU Jungle has put that out.
All right. I'll take a look.
You can actually see what's going on, though.
Yes. Yeah, it looks. It's not like a GIF. You know what I'm saying? It's not
right.
Like ultra choppy. It's somewhat decent.
So I mean, it might be just as good as the one we had. Was it?
Or no, Duke.
Durham. Yeah.
And then some of the ACC tournament action when you're looking through a fence.
This is amazing. And it is live, I guess.
Yes, they're warming up.
There you go.
You can legitimately watch the game from 500 feet away.
Yeah.
It's like you're in the
From
outfield.
right center.
Yeah, at Segra Stadium. Fayetteville.
It would be awesome to just watch the game and try to figure out what's going on without announcers from that point of view.
No score, no anything.
I don't know what I thought the stadium was going to look like hearing about it, but I guess it's just your typical minor league ballpark.
Like when you walk up to it, it's pretty impressive. The walk up is nice.
But yeah, that's funny. So we'll have people huddled around their computers watching the weather cam, the live. Hey, that is resourceful, man.
I'd give it to him, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's finding something out.
Shout out to Jungle Jared there for finding that. All right, we'll take our final timeout, come back, get ready to wrap things up here on Pirate Radio Live. A week and a day away from opening day. That probably excites you, Steven.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
You know what excites me? Every team is playing on opening day for the first time since the 60s.
Wow.
Can you believe it's been that long?
It's typical Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
They have to wait 60 years before they can get everybody to play on opening day at the same time.
Yeah, as somebody said yesterday, give Rob Manfred a raise. He's doing a great job. All right, we'll take time out. 10-7 over at Johnson Stadium. ECU and Duke. And we got a miss. Pirate ball. That's not how it works. I don't know the rules. Back with you after this.
There's nothing more important than protecting your family. Fire ants can cause painful allergic reactions and even death. Protect your loved ones at home where you should feel the safest. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com to learn of our once-a-year treatment to guarantee you stay fire ant free. Tested and proven effective by your Eastern North Carolina exterminating professionals at Pest Tech of Greenville. Mention the crying baby for an extra 10% off.
Now, a March Madness schedule preview. Regional action ramps up tomorrow for the men's Sweet 16 and then on Friday for the women. Both have some great matchups on tap. For the men, Thursday action hits Las Vegas and New York City. And then on Friday, the two remaining one seeds return. with Alabama facing San Diego State in Louisville, and then Houston taking on Miami in Kansas City. Hear Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NCAA tournament right here.
Do you have taxiety? That nervous feeling when you realize it's tax time again, but you don't know how much it could cost you? Don't wait until the last minute to file. Liberty Tax will help you get your maximum refund at our lowest possible price. Our professional services start at just $69. Start your taxes today online at libertytax.com or schedule an in-person appointment with one of our local tax offices. Offer ends April 18th, 2023. Valid at participating locations. Terms and conditions apply. See website or office for details.
To keep your bodies active and engaged in the activities that you love, you need a good stretch. And at Bodies in Balance, that's the mission they follow to give you the best quality of life. The team at Bodies in Balance can create a stretch or massage program that is right for you, featuring aromatherapy, hot stones, hot towels, cupping, percussion, and myofascial work at no extra cost if requested. And don't forget to mention Pirate Radio and get your first massage for $1 per minute and your first stretch free. Call today at 916-4530 and check them out online at bodiesinbalance.com.
Hey Pirate fans, this is Coach Cliff Godwin. The physicians at Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center have been caring for our athletes at ECU for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for our sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care, physical therapy, and diagnostic testing. For experienced and professional services, call the team at Orthopedics East at 252-757-2663 or visit them online at orthoeast.com. Go Pirates!
Great. It's 30 degrees in here. This is going to be a cold night.
No one's coming out this late.
I'm on firewood.
Dad! I'll put hot coals in our socks for bedtime. Mom!
Hi, I'm from Delcor Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Got an email about your heat being out?
That was me. I sent it from my phone.
I think your socks are on fire.
Call Delcor today to get a new system installed for less than $100 a month. Offer expires soon. Go to delcorinc.com. Monthly fee based on new system financing is 9.9% APR for 120 months. Call Delcor for details.
If you wake up in the morning with a backache, feeling more tired than you did when you went to bed, you probably need a new mattress. And the best place to get that mattress is Factory Mattress. Hi, I'm Kirk Smith, General Manager. For more than 40 years, Factory Mattress has been Greenville and Wilson's local mattress dealer. We guarantee the lowest price on the area's best selection with over 50 models to choose from. No seconds or overruns. Factory Mattress offers only first quality direct from the manufacturer. Sealy Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. The most highly trained sales associates with over 60 years of combined experience. Same as cash financing with zero interest up to 48 months and free local delivery. Face it, to have a good day, you've got to have a good night. So sleep better knowing you saved money at Factory Mattress, locally owned on Greenville Boulevard in Greenville, on Forest Hills Road in Wilson, on the web at factorymattressusa.com, and a proud member of Pirates Supporting Pirates.
This is former ECU football player Bryce Williams, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
All right, it was a down day for the stock market. The Dow was down 530 points at 32,030. The NASDAQ was down 190 at 11,669. The S&P was down 65 points, finished out the day at 3,936. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
Shirley, if I ask you a lacrosse question, are you confident you'll know the answer to it?
I'm semi-confident.
All right. It says they're in the second right now. Is that the second?
Quarter.
Out of how many? 4? Well, that would make sense. Quarters. All right, second quarter.
Correct.
And the Pirates are hanging tough. It's 10-7, and they have a scoring opportunity here. They've been playing some great defense since we have started watching this thing. Stephen Igoe will wrap it up. Mariners, playoff team this year?
I think so. I think they are. They stay healthy. They got the starting pitching. They got the lineup. I think they're a wild card team. I don't think they're good enough to overtake the Houston Astros.
The big, bad Astros. All right, Steven, thanks for hanging out. We'll talk to you never.
It's been fun, man. Love Pirate Radio. We'll continue to talk off the air quite often, and appreciate y'all for everything. Y'all have been the best.
Thank you for your partnership, friendship, kinship, and leadership.
Was never really a leader, but I appreciate it.
I was just looking for another ship word at the end. All right. Thank you, buddy. Shirley Rhodes, we'll see you tomorrow. Big Dog, thanks for pitching in, because we had to send our best man down to Fayetteville, and Chandler is killing it. We'll recap that with him coming up on Thursday. Kim McNeil joining us Thursday at 5 o'clock. We'll talk to you then on Pirate Radio Live. So long, everybody.
Have a great night, Eastern Carolina.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WD.